for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end.
Here with Coach Brian Morgan of the North Ridgeville Rangers. Coach, you guys are coming into this week 7-1, despite all the key injuries that you guys have had on both sides of the ball this season.
Overhang on the right, they need to be careful.
Roxandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end.
This week's Key on Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Advanced Diagnostics Auto Care and Maintenance. If you want dealership quality at a fraction of the cost, visit Advanced Diagnostics Auto Care and Maintenance at 23779 Lorraine Road in North Olmsted, and you won't be disappointed. You need a repair shop that you can trust. They know the repair process is all about customer service. How they treat their customers is just as important, if not more important, than the quality of the services they provide. They are always willing to discuss your repair needs before, during, and long after your visit. They treat you like family and won't stop until you're completely satisfied and road ready.
Celebrate Cleveland boys and girls high school basketball at the Cleveland Basketball Classic. Admissions is $16 daily for all games that day. All games will be held at Baldwin Wallace University at Earth Spring Gymnasium over Thanksgiving weekend of 2025. The goal of this event is to honor the best of Cleveland basketball's past while putting the spotlight on today's Cleveland area high schools.
Christine Dort Photography. From sports to real-life photos, don't let a big event go by without Christine Dort there to photograph it. Find her today on Facebook or at www.christinedortphotography.com for all your photo needs.
Kathy is a multi-million-dollar top producer in Northeast Ohio. She strives to give all her clients the best knowledge and support through each phase of the home buying and selling process. Give her a call or send her a text at 330-242-0377 to get started today. You can email her at kathydressrealtor@gmail.com.
Gotcha Covered Avon. Their team of experienced design consultants are experts in helping you find the right window treatments for your home or business. Swing by their showroom at 2525 Nagel Road in Avon to see for yourself how they can make your entire living room, or any room, look better with just a few small suggestions and a low cost. You can find them online at gotchacovered.com/Avon. Lou Grasso Accounting and Tax Services. Your taxes and accounting needs must be handled by the very best, so you can rest easy. You can have that comfort of knowing your money is being handled by the experts with Lou Grasso Accounting and Tax Services. They prepare individual, corporate, nonprofit, and small business tax returns. They also specialize in investment and accounting and managing clients' QuickBooks with over $275 million in assets accounted for. Located in Avon, they prepare your federal, state, and city returns, which includes e-file and direct deposit. Please visit their website at www.lougrassotax.com for more info.
OCD Home Solutions offers a wide range of services to fit your needs, including a concierge-level moving assistance, from sorting and packing to space planning and unpacking. They'll make sure your move is seamless and stress-free, whether you're relocating across town or transporting a loved one to a smaller home. Their team takes care of the details so you can focus on what matters the most. You can reach them today at www.ocdhomesolutions.com or book them by calling 216-299-3181 for a free consultation by mentioning Key on Sports when you contact them.
Riley's Irish Bakery, the absolute best bakery and comfort food selection you will find on the west side of town. Located in the heart of Fairview, this incredible family-run business is your first, last, and only stop for the best eats. At Riley's Irish Bakery, they use the freshest ingredients to create classic Irish baked goods and savories. They are located at 22570 Lorraine Road in Fairview.
Westside Family Dentistry is conveniently located near Detroit Avenue. Their professionals know that dental health is not just about white smiles, it's about having strong teeth and healthy gums. It's about prolonging the simple joy of eating delicious things. Their mission is to help their patients accomplish these goals in a painless, compassionate, and effective way. You can visit them at 18611 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio.
Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Aspen Property Services. If you want your yard to look perfect, leave it up to the pros of Aspen Property Services. Call and ask for details at 720-215-1786. They are the leaders in the landscaping industry and can help with restoration and regular maintenance.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandich, and Brock Sandich said, nope, give me that, I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here, Cole. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight, and Brock Sandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline stops you. They need to get back up to that pace here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis bouncing it to the outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and just like that. 4 plays, 4 runs, all carries for Marquise Davis, a guy who ran for 333 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Did not have a big first half. It was quiet, and he shows up on the first drive right when the Tigers need him, 10-6.
You know, he gets that edge. There's no one that can catch him. There needs to be someone right in front of him if they want any hopes of stopping Marquise Davis. He has that.
If you're Cleveland Heights, you can use Brunswick's game against them. Still 8 minutes to go, but continue to run the ball, run the clock, and you have an opportunity for a fresh set of downs before making it into the end zone.
Davis slipping through a couple tacklers, keeps the legs churning. Nobody could bring him down. Was touched back around the 8-yard line and just kept dragging defenders. And that's why he's the type of running back prospect we've been. Happened to the green wave on the other end. Here an option. This one going to be a pitch to the outside. Got a block and going to step into the end zone right around the corner. Nice blocking there by the wide receiver, setting that edge and giving some room for number 30, Andre Jenkins, the sophomore, to make his way into the end zone untouched. And also credit to Elijah Gray on that pitch, well timed on the driving once again, looking to get their first win of the season and break that 9-game win streak for Holy Name dating back to 2013. But right now, Holy Name, they need to get a stop here. I know it's early in this game, but things are trending the way of Normandy. And a lot of it's because of Elijah Gray, the quarterback, trying to make a man miss an open field. He does. Past the 15-yard line, slips past the tackler, cuts inside, and he's going to barrel his way into the end zone. I'll tell you what's more slippery than that football tonight, and that is the quarterback, Elijah Gray. Nobody can bring that man down.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is one of the most exciting runners of a quarterback that I've seen.
And a reminder that this trip to the red zone has been brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit kelly-mac.com to learn more. 2nd and 2 from the 5. Have to get to the 3-yard line to pick up the first down. Rodriguez on the carry. Looks like he's going to get close and just enough to move the chains. Down at the 2.
Amherst Steele travels to North Ridgeville for the Keon Sports Game of the Week.
Live from Ranger Stadium in beautiful North Ridgeville, Ohio, it's the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week for Week 9 as the Amherst Steele Comets travel in to take on the North Ridgeville Rangers. It's the Cement Mason Local 404 pregame show. I'm Brandon Soder. With me, Dom Clary behind the camera, and on the field, as you'll see shortly, is Brandon Marvel. Kick things off, Dom. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Beautiful night. Sun goes down a little bit early this time of the year, which, we mind any other day of the week, but when it's Friday nights, the sun goes down a little bit early, and then the crowd gets a little bit more rowdy. So it's nice to be here. Fun for the environment. Can't wait for the Friday night lights. Only 2 more weeks, Brandon.
Absolutely. Senior night here in North Ridgeville, hosting us for the 3rd time this year. Should be another great game. Let's start with the visitors tonight. The Amherst Steele Comets. They are 4-4 on the season, 2-3 in the SWC Conference. So, Dom, players to watch, keys to victory for Amherst.
Yeah, keys to victory is they want to air the ball out, right? This is a team that thrives in throwing the ball. They use the run to set up the pass. And the man passing is big number 7, Cy Christensen. Big transfer, came in this year, has had an impact. You saw him against Avon Lake, had a strong first half. That defense really honed in on him in the second half, and he struggled. But he's done better since then, and boy, has he been good. And this is against the North Ridgeville team that has struggled on defense at times. We saw it against Berea Mid-Park 2 weeks ago. This week, maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, I don't know. And then on defense, they have to stop the run. Despite even losing a running back for North Ridgeville, still a good run game. The Comets need to stop the run game and air the ball out if they want to win this game, and it is possible for them today.
All right, thank you, Dom. Let's go ahead and toss it down to our very own Brandon Marvel. He had a chance to catch up with head coach of Amherst Steele, Tom Thome.
Here with Coach Tom Thome of the Amherst Steele Comets. Coach, coming into this week 4-4, you guys have improved the last few weeks since the last time we saw you against Avon Lake. Tough loss against Avon. Anybody's going to be hard fought to beat them this year, but a very impressive win against Olmsted Falls and a big win last week against Elyria. What have you liked about your team's game this past couple weeks?
I think all year we've been up and down a little bit. Defensively, we've grown a lot. Offensively, we just got to find that consistent all 4 quarters.
And Cy Christensen, your quarterback, just recently set the Lorain County passing yards record. How is it having a quarterback like Cy that you can rely on to make plays like that all 4 quarters of the game?
Cy sees things. His eyes are always downfield. He does a lot of things that, a lot of high school quarterbacks can't do. We need him to run a little bit more with his legs tonight. He's a tremendous high school football player.
And 4-4, like I said, still pushing for the playoffs. What do you want to see from your team these last couple weeks to try to lock in a spot?
We just got to take care of business tonight. We got to try to continue to improve and not worry about anything else.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to Coach Thome and Brandon Marvel. So now let's move to the North Ridgeville Rangers. They are having an incredible season so far. 7-1, just 1 loss in conference play so far. Players to watch, keys to victory, brought to you by Safe Staffing Ohio. Dom.
Yeah, players to watch on offense is Cole Miller. No Zach Barnhart. He's out for the year from what we heard. That's a big impact for them for the run game. But when you have a quarterback who, let's see here, 6'5", and he can run, being recruited as a tight end in multiple different positions as well. This kid is a stud. He can run, he can throw, he can do it all. And the keys to victory, they need that offense to run through him, and he needs to make an impact on every single play as the quarterback. On defense, Brian Strippy is the man there. On defense, he was our defensive player of the week. The Mickey's defensive player of the week. He needs to make an impact on defense.
All right, thank you again, Dom. Let's toss it down to Brandon Marvel one more time. He caught up with North Ridgeville head coach Brian Morgan.
Here with Coach Brian Morgan of the North Ridgeville Rangers. Coach, you guys are coming in this week 7-1. Despite all the key injuries that you guys have had on both sides of the ball this season, you guys have had a great year. What do you attribute that to?
We have a big senior class, 32 guys that we're honoring here tonight. They're full of resolve. Before last week, the 2 games before that, we had to come from behind, make some plays, and they believe, they want to win. They want to make sure that everybody can see that we're a program and not just a good senior class from last year. And they work hard every single week, and they're prepared every single week.
And building off that, come from behind wins. The last time we were out here, arguably the game of the year when you guys came from behind to beat Berea Mid-Park. In your post-game huddle, you kind of talked about the resiliency and the fight that each player had for their brother and everything. How important is that for a team like this, especially with the big senior class?
Yeah, I think that when we were down 21-6, it would have been easy to quit or point fingers at the defense or the offense not being able to score in the first couple drives. And, the guys were picking each other up, telling each other, let's get some momentum going here. And, every single week we talked about, what our goals are. If we win tonight, it'll be the most successful 4-year span in North Ridgeville history. So they know that, what we're playing for. They're still excited to play every single Friday night. And, if we can get the job done, it's going to be, history for this group.
Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
That'll do it for our Cement Mason Local 404 pregame show. Thank you again to both coaches, Morgan and Tone. Thank you to Brandon Marvel for those interviews. You hear from him on the broadcast momentarily. And, of course, thank you to my co-host, Dom Clary. But we are ready for kickoff here in North Ridgeville. Amherst, in their all-white uniforms, are going to receive this kickoff. North Ridgeville, yellow pants, blue tops. And we are ready to go. Squibbed kick. And there's a pile for it. North Ridgeville thinks they have it. Did we really see this yet again from the Rangers? And we did. Masters of the onside kick. And for yet another time this season, pulled
the
off
turnover
unexpectedly.
hoop. Just like the Pitt Panthers, they got the turnover hoop and the slam dunk, and they break the rim. That's the way you start a game. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you see
Not at all.
when you see the turnover dunk, yeah, and they will confirm it, Brandon, that the Rangers have the ball. That's exciting, huh? Like a little Pat McAfee special to start the game.
2 weeks ago, Dom, to open the second half, North Ridgeville did that on their first 2 kickoffs. You didn't get to see it. You weren't here, so they said, Dom's here. Let's do it again for him.
And an incredible start to this game for the Rangers. 1st and 10. Man in motion. Miller going to keep it himself, working up the near side of the field. Makes one defender miss, still up on his feet. Knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 6. So again, Cole Miller, the 6'5" senior quarterback. His 4th year of game action for North Ridgeville. One of the key players in their win against Berea Mid-Park in our Week 7 game of the week. A threat both throwing the ball and on the ground. Very explosive runner out of the quarterback position. Imagine we'll be seeing a lot of that tonight again. No Zachary Barnhart for the remainder of the year, so it'll be Cole and running back by committee. They're going to again run it with Cole Miller. Close to the first down, but brought down just a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, so what you saw there was a triple option, right? Speed option. You had a guy out wide. Is that pitch option? You faked the inside, read the end. I don't know if you read it correctly. The end might have been right on him, but really didn't have a choice there. Ran with it, faked the throw. You see that third option, that pitch option? Instead of being a pitch, they have as a throw to widen out the field a little bit more. When you're a team that's going to run and the defense knows it, sometimes it helps spread things out just a little bit more.
3rd and 1. Pistol formation. Miller, low snap, handled. Handoff right up the gut, but there was a flag that stopped that play.
It looked like the running back in that set that time, which this time it was number 83, Matthew Flesher. He got a little too excited, got moving a little too early, got the false start on him.
Matthew Flesher, a back that was featured quite often in the win against Berea Mid-Park earlier this season, especially in that first half. Again, one of many ball carriers we expect to see tonight for the Rangers. So a little bit more difficult now. 3rd and 6 from the 42-yard line. Miller now by himself. 3 receivers to the near, 2 out far. Takes a snap, looking to throw, dropping back deep, throws it up the middle, open receiver, hits him, touchdown! Touchdown, North Ridgeville! Dylan DeShazo! And who else but Cole Miller's favorite target? Rangers take an early lead.
Yeah, that appeared to be Eric Linger right there, number 12, or number 18, pardon me.
Len Gower's actually out for the year. So what they did, they did a little bit of jersey swap.
Oh,
so
so you
DeShazo's
guys
now wearing number 18.
Oh,
That's right.
a little switcheroo. So you guys, Brandon.
We got some insider information, Don. We forgot you weren't here.
You can slap. I was at a Romanian wedding.
Duke Baker with the extra point, up and good. Baker, also a wide receiver for North Ridgeville. 10:43 left here in the first quarter. And after the recovered onside kick, North Ridgeville takes advantage. They lead Amherst 7-0.
So you just got the first possession of the game off that, and you're going to have the ball out of halftime. Amherst is in a critical spot right now where they're going to need a big-time stop here later in the game. But it all starts on offense and all starts with big number 7, Cy Christensen, the punter, the quarterback. And hopefully they don't see him as a punter too often here today. Hopefully they just see him slinging the rock. And we saw him do that against 1/2 against Avon Lake. I'm curious the start that he can get against a really good front 7 and a secondary that we've seen struggle with the passing attack at times. So I'm interested to see how this first possession is going to go after losing one. And this front group here needs to be prepared for an onside kick for the rest of the game. They need to be ready. That can't happen again.
And we've seen them run it twice in a row before. And in a game they were trailing to Berea Mid-Park. Kick is low, but a little farther this time. Fielded right around the 20-yard line. Returner making his way to the outside, brought down right around the 35. So this time Amherst will get an opportunity on offense. Cy Christensen, the Lorain County passing leader, again started his career at Clearview, made his way over to Amherst for this season. They're going to need him to have a big game tonight to take down North Ridgeville. Their only loss on the season against Avon. 1st and 10 now from the 34. Christensen in shotgun, one back in the backfield with him.
Tight formation here. Got that tight end there in the bottom of your screen.
Calls for the snap, handoff, right up the gut. Back trying to find some room. Really not much there. Maybe picks up a yard.
Yeah, and last week, Brandon and Don, we saw this defensive unit really pick it up in the second half for North Ridgeville. They gave up 21 points against Berea Mid-Park for North Ridgeville. We saw them give up 21 points in the first half 2 weeks ago. Let's see if this week they could start off a lot better than they did against Berea Mid-Park, so that way they don't have to be crawling back for any kind of deficit.
Peyton Gillies on the carry there for the Comets. 2nd and 9. It'll be a handoff again to Gillies, trying to find room on the weak side. Nowhere to go. Picks up another yard. It's going to be 3rd and long for Amherst.
Yeah, they're tightening up this formation in hopes that it'll open up the pass. You know, they trust Christensen to throw the ball in these tough situations. Right now, they're running it early. They want North Ridgeville to fill up that box and fool them later in the game. It's a good strategy, but right now the run's not working. You have a 3rd and 7, very manageable for a high-powered offense like this.
Christensen ready now. Going to fake the handoff. This time, though, going to throw, look to go deep. Now having the scramble, still looking, throws it to the sideline towards a receiver. No real chance, just had to get out of harm's way. 4th down for Amherst.
That's one of the things that Coach Thome of the Amherst Steel briefly mentioned in my interview with him pregame is that, yes, Christensen can make the play with his arm. Everybody knows that he can. But tonight he's going to need a little bit more of his legs. Right there we saw him scramble out of the pocket, extend the play. Still didn't have anything downfield, but that's just a good job of using his legs in the right spot and still trying to extend the play, get something downfield.
Now, first time the punting unit's out on the field tonight. Again, Cy Christensen also handling punting duties for the Comets. And that one's up and away and deep. Bounces. North Ridgeville not going to touch it. They'll let that continue to roll. And that's going to be some tough starting field position as they pick that up right around the 10-yard line. Good punt there by Christensen. They'll officially mark it at the 11. The second time now, we'll see Cole Miller and the Rangers out on the field tonight. And first drive, establish the run game, and then an explosive pass up the middle to DeShezzo. Put them up 7. So 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Going to spread things out once again. 2 receivers far, 2 to the near side. Miller going to look to throw. Has a receiver on the sideline, tiptoes, makes the catch, picks up a couple.
Yeah, and we saw that the first time we were here. I'm curious if it was like that when you guys were here just 2 weeks ago. They love that curl route on the outside there. Has an outside or has a release, turns outside, then boom, right into the sideline, gives them some quick action early and often. Like to see if they do that more and more. Bring those cornerbacks in, open up the pass game and that deep attack.
Second down now. This time, handoff. Back trying to find some room to work, but nowhere to go. Comets all over that one.
And you just mentioned it, Dom, that quick out route, that quick curl for 5-6 yards. That was really what their bread and butter was that really got them going offensively a couple weeks ago. They were stagnant, couldn't get much going with Cole Miller, not much with the run game, tried to go a couple deep shots in the pass game. But once they got those quick passes going, North Ridgeville was able to open up everything else in the offensive playbook a couple weeks ago.
Another third down for North Ridgeville, 3rd and 3. Miller going to look to throw again. Pressure coming. Gets the ball out. Caught. Knocked out of bounds. But that's enough for a Ranger first down. Number 17 on the reception, Cole Allison.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's you, Dom. You're good.
Oh, me? Okay. So he hit that out route there about 10 yards and out. Quick, easy, anticipated it super early. I mean, as soon as those Cole Allison was able to get outside and break on his route, that ball was right into his hands. He was able to make a move. Beautiful execution there by the senior quarterback, Cole Miller.
1st and 10 from the 27. Quick halfback screen. They know where to go there. Maybe picks up a yard.
And Cole Allison is one of those guys that we've mentioned a couple times already tonight that North Ridgeville is kind of running back by committee with Barnhart out for the rest of the year. He's one of those guys that's going to give you some effort on the outside as a receiver and lined up in the backfield as a running back.
Under 8 minutes now in the first quarter. 2nd and 10. So no gain on that. And North Ridgeville not been afraid to pass the ball here early. One back in the backfield with Miller. Takes a snap, handoff, right up the gut. The back's free. He's got room ahead of him. Cuts outside, still up. And a touchdown saving tackle there from the Comets, but huge run for North Ridgeville. Make sure we give proper credit.
Bro, I was just trying to look, but he was blocked by his teammate. Either way, great effort by the Amherst defensive back by making that tackle, not letting up any more yardage than was given up and saving a touchdown.
Looks like Luke Bartell on the carry there for North Ridgeville. Now into Comet territory, 1st and 10, handoff again up the gut. This time maybe picks up 3. So again, balanced attack from the Rangers, keeping this Comet defense on their toes. They have been a good defense this year, despite playing in a tough SWC conference, giving up on average just 18 points per game. They gave up 7 early to North Ridgeville.
This Amherst Steele team is one of the more talented teams that we've seen since we started covering here. Out of that school, they've done a good job. It's been a good year, but they need to toughen up on defense right on this drive.
2nd down again. Cole Miller gets a block. Still a free rusher. Gets another block. Still scrambling. Up on his feet. Gonna throw it deep. Has an open receiver. Bobbles it. And drops out of his hands. Almost an incredible team effort there, but the receiver wide open just could not haul that one in.
That's one of those ones you actually don't want as a wide receiver where you're sitting all by yourself and the ball is going right to your chest. Those are the worst ones you want. You want one where you're in stride, you know where the cornerback is, and that one you're like, you could be behind me, you could be to the left of me, but in reality, there's no one within 20 yards of you, and you kind of panic, and he tried doing too much, turned too early. Oh, I mean, that's not the ideal play you want to make there, but we'll see that young man bounce back later in this game.
3rd and 8. Miller going to look to throw again. Quick throw. Caught by DeShazo. Cuts up the middle. Brought down right at that 1st down marker. Looks like he'll have enough. Wait for the official call.
And you kind of, that last play, you kind of compare that to a wide open 3-pointer in basketball. There's nobody around you. There's nobody contesting the shot. So you have all day to sit there and just think.
a nice 11-foot jumper all by yourself because you're like too close but too far away, and then you know what you're doing.
And then you
scared.
airball it.
Yeah. Then the cheerleaders yell at you, and your friends are calling you a bum. It's a mess.
1st and 10 from the 27. Miller calls for it, rolling. Looks like he's going to keep it himself. Has one man to beat on the outside, and he's going to get held up for no gain. Good pursuit that time from the Comet defense. Now, we talk about, obviously, a lot about the receiver on that play a couple plays ago now, but the blocking that Cole Miller got on that play from his halfback, 2 different blocks he laid out to knock down someone in pursuit, and then obviously Miller did a good job staying upright. So a lot of things went right for them. Just couldn't quite punch it in. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Miller going to throw this time. Pressure coming. Gets it out complete and out of bounds after a gain of about 6.
And that's probably one of the best things that coaches at the next level are going to love to see the most out of skill position players. Wide receivers on big plays to a running back or a different skill position player, whether it be a wide receiver or tight end, just throwing out blocks. Not waiting if you don't get the ball, just sit there and do nothing. Still engaging in the play, going out there, finding somebody to block just to extend that play even farther.
3rd and 4 for North Ridgeville. And flag, as both sides are pointing at each other, but it looks like it's going to be a false start against the Rangers, so another 3rd down penalty against North Ridgeville. Of course, last time this happened, they uncorked one deep and put 7 on the board. We'll see if they have the same kind of luck here. 3rd and 9 from the 26. 5 minutes, 44 seconds left in the first quarter. North Ridgeville holding on to a 7-0 lead. Ball snap, Miller rolling but looking to throw. Has time, now stepping up, throws it sideline, caught, falls out of bounds. I'm going to say he completed it, but it looks like he might be just short. Let's see, yeah, it looks like about a yard short if they keep it where it is. So it'll be 4th and 1 from the 18. And we are in the red zone. This trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center.
And last week I wasn't successful at calling the play that should happen. But 2 weeks ago in these situations, I said, Cole Miller's your guy. Keep the ball in his hands. You need a yard. Call his number.
We'll see what happens. Back comes in next to Miller, and he is going to take it right up the gut. Bounces, still on his feet. Got the 1st down and more. Touchdown, North Ridgeville.
The Rangers got my back.
You absolutely called it there, Marvel. Spread out the defense. Got just enough room to cut up the gut. And a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Rangers.
When you have a player that talented in high school football, you just got to drop a play and hope he can do what he has to do. I mean, I played with players like that on multiple teams in high school and college, and every time that we see these kids play every Friday night, no matter where we're in Lorraine County, Coahuila County, doesn't matter where, there's always a player on the field that's a game changer. Cole Miller's one of those players. It's 4th and short. Hey, we have the best player on the field. Let's give him the ball and let him do something with it. We trust our offensive line can get enough of a push where this team can make something happen. That's exactly what they did. This offense is rolling after they stole a drive early.
And Finley Keller puts through the extra point. I do believe I incorrectly said Duke Baker handled the kicking duties earlier. He's the holder for North Ridgeville. So 2 successful extra points so far for Finley Keller, the senior kicker. Also handles the punting duties for North Ridgeville. Hasn't been needed for that yet tonight. 5 minutes, 31 seconds here to go in quarter number 1. It's been all North Ridgeville as they lead the Amherst Steele Comets 14-0. Again, Amherst only 1 offensive possession so far tonight. Ended in a 3-and-out. Kick is booted deeper this time. Going to bounce and roll. That had no bounce to it at all. as that hit the ground and stayed there, just kept moving forward. Amherst had to do what they could just to fall on top of that one.
Yeah, that was more of a land and skid than a bounce.
Real quick, folks, all penalties and turnovers brought to you by Stevens Tax Service. No one wants penalties at tax time, so turn over your taxes and financial needs to Stevens Tax Service. Tom's been in business for over 15 years and will make sure you don't fumble your finances. You can learn more at StevensTaxService.com. That's Stevens with a PH, TaxService.com, or give them a call at 440-331-8989. First and 10 now from the 18. Amherst with possession, tried to get North Ridgeville to jump. They didn't quite bite. Defense starting to creep up again, though. Pressure is coming, but handed off to the far side. Not a lot of room for Gillies to work there. He picks up a yard. Apologies. Michael Passarello Jr. now in the game. Taking carries for the Comets. He will remain in for this second down.
They really want to run the ball today, huh? Really thought they were going to come out guns blazing. Jeez Louise. You think that's what the game plan would be today, but not the case.
We'll see if that sticks. Second down. Christensen will look to throw this time. Has time. Now rolling out. Throws it deep down the left sideline and comfortably over the head of his receiver. So I'm noticing Christensen has relatively clean pockets, but he's waiting for things to develop downfield. And after a while, I mean, the offensive lineman, you know this, Dom, can only hold for so long. And it's kind of forcing him into tough situations where he's rolling out. And that's twice now on the run. He's had to just kind of throw it away.
Yeah, the average play in football is about 6 seconds. You need to get that ball away in about 3.5.
3rd and 8 now from their own 20. Passarello Jr. still in the backfield with Cy Christensen. 2 receivers on either side. Pressure coming, steps up, throws, complete, first down, and a couple more. First completion of the night for Amherst. And that was Peyton Liebacker with the reception, senior wide receiver for Amherst. First down, Comets. Now up to the 32-yard line. Same offensive look. Play call comes in. Calls for the snap. This time, handoff again up the gut. And tell me if you've heard this before. Picks up a couple. So really no negative plays yet in the run game for Amherst, but not really able to open up much yet.
So North Ridgeville runs a 4-2 over, right? So there's technically 3 linebackers, but that Sam is outside the box. So the 2 guys you see in the box are the Mike and the Will. Number 6, he is the Sam. He operates almost kind of like a linebacker / safety. If he's on that line of scrimmage, we call that a 4-2 under. So it's not a bear formation, but it's a 4-2 under.
And pressure coming, and they're going to bring down Christensen. A man came through unblocked. He never had a chance. That was number 99, Braden Laszlo for North Ridgeville. That's going to set up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and this North Ridgeville defensive line is playing much better early in the game than we saw a couple of weeks back. As soon as the running back gets to the line of scrimmage, he gets stopped, doesn't let him get much more. And right there we see Braden Laszlo flying off the edge and getting to the quarterback quick and bringing him down for the sack.
So 3rd and very long now for the Comets. Christensen ready, calls for it, dropping back, pressure coming again, but block laid, still trying to run around. Goes to attempt to pass, no one to get the ball out to. He's brought down. That'll be another sack for North Ridgeville. 4th down.
Yeah, North Ridgeville doing a good job of confusing the offensive line with pressure. They're keeping that halfback back, but it's not enough. They're throwing 6-7 guys, or 5 to 6 guys at the offensive line, and it's giving them issues. This offensive line might have to keep a tight end back there just for help if they want to give him any more time than they're currently providing.
Ryan Anderson on the sack. High snap, but handled by Christensen. Going to be fielded just past the 50-yard line. Return for about 10 yards. And North Ridgeville is going to take back over here. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Still 14-0 in favor of North Ridgeville.
And the Rangers are going to get their best field position that they've had to start a drive all night. First drive, you had that onside kick, recovered right around midfield. Second drive, they started from their own 10-yard line and still marched all the way down the field and scored. Now they're set up well inside of Amherst territory at the 43. Short field. See how quickly they could get it in the end zone this time.
And folks, make sure if you're watching us, whether that be on YouTube, Facebook, NFHS, let us know in the comments who you think our Mickey's and Cement Masons players of the game should be. We take all votes into account. You got it till about 2 minutes left in the game to let us know. It's going to be a pass on first down for the Rangers as Miller, trying to escape trouble, still on his feet, slings it out and low at the feet of his receiver. But again, everything he could do there just not to take the sack. So 2nd and 10 coming back for the Rangers.
It looked like he wanted Cole Allison on that deep route, but it was very well covered by the Amherst secondary.
If you're a college recruiter and you see him, right, you look at the physicals at 6'5", you see how fast he is, you see the arm talent and how smart he is back there, how do you not recruit him? I mean, really, this kid is just excellent. I mean, he's developed so well in these 3 years.
2nd and 10 now. Run straight up the middle. And about 7 that time.
And to add on to that, Dom, the pure athleticism, and you've talked about it earlier on in the broadcast, but he's being recruited at different positions. He's being recruited as a tight end. Now he's going to these MAC school camps and everything like that as a tight end, and it's like, have you seen this kid throw the ball? Have you seen him run with the ball in his hands as a quarterback? Like, he's an extremely gifted kid.
Matthew Flesher on the carry on that last play, but now 3rd and 4. Minute 20 and counting left in quarter number 1. Miller by himself. He'll throw. Has time. Throws it deep down the left side of the field and just out of reach of his receiver. Calling for a flag. Does not look like one will be thrown.
And if you're wondering why they threw that deep shot there, and they're like, oh, it's 3rd and 4. Just pick up the 4 yards. Pick up the first down. They don't have to do it there. They have 4th down. The team's going to go for it because they're confident that if they're aiming for 4, they'll get 6. That's how good Cole Miller is in this offense, especially this offensive line as well. This team's talented enough where, hey, we can go for broke on 3rd down, 4th down. We'll just pick up what we need.
Offense has been humming. We are in no man's land on their 37-yard line of Amherst. Miller, pistol formation, going to throw. Pressure coming, throws it out, incomplete. Over the head of Cole Allison. Turnover on downs. Amherst will get another shot at it. Minute 5 left here in quarter number 1.
Well, I asked how quickly can they score, and this time it's going to be no score. Good job by the Amherst defense picking themselves up. Coverage was good downfield on those deep routes by the North Ridgeville receivers, not letting Cole Miller take any uncontested deep shots like he had on the last drive.
Nothing like a good announcer's curse, so thank you, Marvel.
Anytime.
I'm sure the North Ridgeville press box appreciates you. 1st and 10 now from the 37 for Amherst Steele. Got 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Christensen ready for it. Handoff. Back moving. Nowhere to go. Forward progress will give him a yard, but no more. And that was number 4, Ryan Anderson, on the carry that time. I'm sorry, I apologize. That's the wrong roster. Peyton Gillies. That makes a little more sense. On the carry there for Amherst. It's going to be Gillies and Passarello Jr. handling the running back duties tonight. 2nd and 8. Play call comes in. Now under 30 seconds left in the quarter. Christensen rolling out, designed run, stays up, stays in bounds. He loses a yard on that one. And good job by the Ranger defense keying in on that, and did come down in bounds. So that's going to do it for us, folks. For the first quarter, you are watching the Key On Sports High School Football game of the week. The North Ridgeville Rangers, they currently lead the Amherst Steele Comets 14-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
This week's Key on Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted and taste the 50-plus years of legacy for yourself. Maxim Lacrosse. Maxim Lacrosse will demand players embody the game by giving and receiving respect and understanding that character counts.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage, and Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that, I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the one.
And it's the start of the second quarter here in North Ridgeville. Amherst with the ball, 3rd and 9 from their own 38-yard line. Cy Christensen going to throw, gets the ball out, but a little bit off target. Intended that time for number 14, Nick Wilkinson, the junior, listed as an athlete on the roster. We'll see the punt unit out again for the 3rd time now for Amherst Steele.
And that last play coming to the end of the first quarter, we saw Cy Christensen have that design run stretch to the outside. It was a great job by the linebacker Nolan Gill for North Ridgeville, really making a play and containing him and making sure he didn't pick up any kind of good yardage.
And that is muffed, but jumped on top of, luckily, by North Ridgeville. Another good punt from Christensen. The returner tried to pick it cleanly, but again, it was low when he got to the point. Not able to hold on to it, but again, no harm, no foul. Rangers still with good field position to start this drive. They're going to be at their own 39-yard line.
We're going to see a steady dose of Cole Miller runs and deep passes again, and boy, is he exciting to watch. Even when he's not completing those deep passes, I mean, it's like Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball for 70 yards last night. You're just in awe.
Man in motion. It'll be a handoff to that back, working his way up, juking, still on his feet. 1st down and more, still going. Now down to the 20, pushed out of bounds, just past the 20-yard line. Starting the drive off with a bang, Dylan DeShazo on the carry.
You see Dom trying to count how many yards that was, and all I'm going to say is a lot.
32.
As soon as he hit that second level, he turned on the boosters and just ran by everybody until he got to the 20-yard line.
And they're going to be at the 19. This trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. 1st and 10. Pistol formation. Miller going to throw this time. Throws it just off the fingertips of his receiver, but there is a flag on the field. Looks like it came in before the throw. Roughly in the area of holding, but we'll see what the call is. And yeah, looks like North Ridgeville starting to move back. No, they're still talking. There it is. Sideline warning. First one of the night for North Ridgeville, so no penalty there. 2nd and 10. Miller by himself. 3 receivers out to the far side. Too close. Man in motion again, but he's going to set up next to Miller. And it's going to be a design quarterback run right up the middle. Pulls over a couple defenders before getting brought down. Gain of about 7 there.
What North Ridgeville likes to do, they like that empty set to start the play off, and then they like to use that pre-snap motion a lot of times to either get a receiver in motion, whether in front of or behind of Miller, or have him set up at either side of his hips. It's kind of what we saw with Brunswick last week. Brunswick does a lot of pre-snap motion with moving around receivers and tight ends. It's just how you could use pre-snap motion in different ways with different schemes.
It's going to be 3rd and 5 now. 11 minutes left here in the first half. And Miller going to keep it himself after faking a handoff. Nowhere to go, though. If he doesn't pick up anything on that run, we'll see if they decide to go for it on 4th down again.
You ever see a quarterback run like Le'Veon Bell?
Not often.
Literally hopping and skipping, juking.
Again, patient runner.
And those of you keeping count at home, that's 2 Steelers references this game, both on this drive from Dom.
There's 2 more coming here soon.
At least.
Some would say.
So 4th and 5 now for North Ridgeville. Did not convert on their last 4th down attempt. Pistol formation, 3 receivers out far. Miller's going to roll out, facing pressure, has to toss it up towards a receiver, but over his head. And for the 2nd time now tonight, Amherst comes up big on 4th down. And they'll give their offense another opportunity.
And this offense needs to get things going ASAP, because right now they are in molasses. They have not made a big play. They have not found anyone open downfield. They only have 1 first down they've picked up. This North Ridgeville defense is confusing the heck out of the Comets right now, and they do not know what's left, what's right, and what's east and what's west. They need to figure it out soon, or it might be a slippery slope if they can't get a score going into halftime.
After 14 quick points, both defenses have really settled in. 1st and 10 now from the 14. Play calls in. Christensen calls for it. Handoff, back working to the near side. Little bit of room. It has to cut back in. Maybe picks up a couple. Run game continues to be a bit of a slog for Amherst. Senior night here in North Ridgeville. Looks like some of the parents down on the field with cheer equipment. It's always fun to see.
Is it moms of the seniors, I think?
Not sure. 2nd and 8 for Amherst. 9:34 left in quarter number 1. That continues to roll. Offense yet to really get rolling for Amherst, but still very much in this one. Their defense played very well the last 2 drives. It's going to be play action, rolling out. Christensen throws complete at the sticks. It was bobbled a bit, but looks like he did not haul that one in. Not able to quite hold on. That was David Dudziak, the intended receiver there. 3rd and long for the Comets. Again, one of the few times Christensen has had time and put one on target. He's not quite able to haul that one in. Still looking for some rhythm here. 3rd and 8. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right of Christensen. He's got it. Looking to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. He's not going to be able to escape it. And just saves a safety. And forward progress, they'll put him about the 5. That was number 25 on the tackle, Nolan Gill for North Ridgeville. And now a dangerous punting situation for Amherst. 4th and 15. This is going to get snapped from their own 5.
This might be a situation for North Ridgeville on special teams. You might send your punt block here. See if you can't get a piece of this. And if you block it, it goes out of the back of the end zone. It's a safety. And if you recover in the end zone, it's a touchdown.
And that goes over the head of Christensen, but hauls it in, and he's going to take off. Little bit of room to work on the far side. Jukes in, dives, but doesn't get there. Well, they're going to take a look.
He is just a bit short.
He got
Very
19
close.
yards, almost there. If he just stayed a little bit strong there and didn't dive, would have got there, but he got tripped up, dove a little too early. If he just tried sticking that out, he may have been able to get there on time.
Now, hold on. We do have a flag as well to get sorted. It looks like it was against Amherst. And let's see. It does look like the offense for the Rangers coming back out onto the field, so likely that it was declined.
And either way, that is a great effort by Christensen. He saves chaos again by snagging in that high snap from the long snapper, pulling it down, had somebody right there on his right side, so he just took off and tried to get everything back, but just short.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 23. Handoff up the middle. Back still on his feet, still churning. Eventually brought down right as he gets past the 10-yard line. Number 83 there, Matthew Flesher. And this trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. It'll be 1st and goal from the 8. Rangers looking to capitalize on a broken punt. Ball snap, handoff again to Fletcher. Picks up a couple that time. We 2nd and 5 now for the Ranger offense. 7 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Folks, make sure you stick around for the Cement Mason Local 404 halftime show with Dom Clary. It's not only is he going to give you updates from across all of Northeast Ohio high school football, we'll also be joined by Kenny Wilson, the head coach of the 7th grade North Ridgeville team. And a run by Cole Miller right up the gut. Gets an extra push from his lineman. Touchdown, North Ridgeville. Second of the night now for Cole Miller.
There it is again. You've got your 6'5" quarterback. You're in a goal-to-go situation. You got four plays. Why not one of those? Just give it to your quarterback. Let him take it in again.
Extra point is up, and it is good with Finley Keller. The 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for Cole Miller, one through the air as well. This feels like it'd be a good time to remind you folks, we are still taking votes for the Cement Mason Local 404 offensive player and Mickey's defensive players of the game. You can let us know in the YouTube or Facebook comments who you think is most deserving. We'll add all of those up right up until about 2 minutes to go in the game. We obviously have our votes as a broadcast team as well. And make sure you check out the Keon Sports social channels, Facebook, Twitter, for photos of our award recipients tonight. And also check out KeonSports.com for recaps of all the big Northeast Ohio high school football games tonight. Got a massive team of writers once again this evening. Not only Ohio, but if you happen to be a fan or have a kid in other states, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Alabama, we've got you covered.
If you want to see the stats and the players that we picked for the Cement Mason Local 404 player of the game and the Mickey's defensive player of the game, it's Dominic Clary, Domenic Clary on Twitter. That's what will be posted, and on the Keon Sports Facebook page and the Instagram.
Kick is again short. Is North Ridgeville going to be able to grab this?
They say they do.
They did! You've got to be kidding me.
There's a flag. They might call early touching.
We'll see. They're still discussing, and another flag now coming out of the pile of Amherst players. We'll see what this ends up being.
Either way, I want to know who is responsible for teaching this team how to do an onside kick, because I don't think I've ever seen at any level a team so successful with their onside kick attempts.
I mean, just for our broadcast, and folks, we are a single broadcast team. We have seen this. This would be the 4th time penalties against Amherst. And yes, North Ridgeville does recover. So for the 4th time, just on the Keon Sports Game of the Week broadcast, North Ridgeville recovers an onside kick. Again, credit to the hands team, credit to Finley Keller. Unlike anything we've seen, and the penalty is going to push this up even further for North Ridgeville. So if you were worried about Cy Christensen and the Comets being able to kind of break this open and explode at any time, I guess the best way to keep that from happening is just to keep them off the field.
They've lost 2 possessions.
And North Ridgeville is going to get it at halftime.
Yeah.
Don't forget. 1st and 10 from the 34. 7:15 to go in the first half. It's been all North Ridgeville. They're leading Amherst 21-0. We talked about our other writers. Also, make sure you check out this game. We'll have a recap as well from Brandon Wee. He always follows the broadcast team, so make sure you read his story. At the end of the night, 1st and 10. Cole Miller going to throw up the far sideline. Open receiver, but over his head. Mason Allison that time, the intended receiver. So 2 Allisons on the receiving corps, as if one wasn't enough to deal with. Be 2nd and 10 now from the 34. Again, 21-0. Miller not even necessarily having his best night with the deep ball, but it has not mattered. They've been able to move. It'll be a handoff this time. Pushed up the middle, but a flag flies in late. Right at the pile. That was Patrick Fellenstein that was in on the tackle. And we do have a penalty going against the Rangers, it looks like. If you're going to pick out anything to kind of nitpick on the Rangers, penalties definitely been an issue tonight. They've been able to overcome them, but several times now they have been driven back with extra penalty yardage. 2nd and 20. Pistol formation. Miller gonna throw, pressure coming, throws it, tried to set up a screen. Didn't really get a clean look at it there.
Yeah, we've talked about it a couple times the past couple weeks with Brunswick last week and now North Ridgeville this week. 2 teams aiming at the playoffs, each team trying to get a higher seed each week as the season dwindles down to an end already. But these are the kind of things you have to clean up by playoff time, because if you're facing a really good team, they're going to take advantage of those mistakes. They're going to take advantage of that extra 5 yards on defense that you give them, where they could defend that 5 yards, and you might not get anything else left in the drive. So you just got to clean that stuff up by the time playoffs come around in just 2 weeks.
I want to comment that after this play as well.
3rd and 20. Miller facing pressure, still rolling, still trying to throw, gets the ball out and out of bounds. So it'll be 4th and long.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Brandon, because I remember my senior year, I'm going against a team named Corey. We were up by 60 to something. It was the 3rd quarter, right? We were killing them. It's going to be an easy win, right? And one of our defensive ends made a late hit. He was talking crap, yada, yada. Younger kid, sophomore. I remember I grabbed him and I said, you can get away with that today, and we can lose the 15 yards. If you do that next week, we will not win the football game. You can do it today, but you can't do it tomorrow. You got to clean up these mistakes today, and they cannot happen tomorrow as you go into week 10 and you go into the playoff race.
And the first punt of the evening for North Ridgeville is going to bounce and roll out of the back of the end zone. Lucky there for Amherst. Not able to cleanly field it, but they'll get to start this one at the 20-yard line.
You know, remember in October when like every player would wear pink?
Oh, yeah.
Pink spat, wristband, wrist tape. My high school, we always had pink spat. Everyone had a pink spat and pink wrist tape, right? We didn't do the pink gloves and the pink mouthpieces. I knew other teams that did, but you don't see much of any of it at all. A few specks of pink down there, but there was one point where every player on the field just had pink gloves, pink mouthpieces, pink socks. Missed those days of the late 2000s, early 2010s with the pink.
1st and 10. Christensen fakes the handoff, throws it up the middle of the field. Open receiver, but tackled. A catch there that time by number 2, David Dudziak. And a flag on the play. And this is going to hurt if it goes against Amherst. One of the better offensive plays of the evening. Again, it's been tough to get any kind of a rhythm going, especially in the passing game. And no, looks like offsetting penalties. So play is negated. However, they won't lose the down. No penalty yardage. And both personal foul penalties.
So I'll move the sticks anyway.
Yeah, we're moving the sticks still.
Are we counting that play?
Interesting. Okay, yes, so they are counting the play. It's not a reset.
Potentially just after the play type of plays where the play counts, but since the fouls were after the play and they offset, just no extra yardage, no moving back.
1st and 10 now from the 37. 6 minutes left here in the first half. Christensen fakes the handoff, pressure coming, now decides to take off, little bit of space to work, still on his feet. He breaks free. Jukes inside, still up, now cutting outside, he's got room. Touchdown, Amherst. My goodness, Cy Christensen.
That's 64 yards there, gentlemen.
And that's what Coach Tom Thome wanted to see from Cy Christensen today. He knew that he could get plays done with his arms, but it's his legs that was going to be the key to today's game, and we saw it right there. Escaping pressure situation, hitting the turbo, getting past midfield, hitting a juke move, and then it's see you later.
What an impressive play. I mean, using your feet the way he did in that play there. We have not seen him do that much because he didn't have an opportunity to do so. So it's awesome to see him make that play. Boy, you know, he struggles early on, not all to his fault. And then he reminds us why he's one of the best quarterbacks that you're going to see, not just in Lorain County, but in all of Northeast Ohio. He is a talented quarterback. It is easy to get outshined by Cole Miller, but do not forget the name of Cy Christensen because he can wow you in any moment, any play, 64-yard touchdown. Kid's a freak of nature when he's able to make a play like that with his feet.
3 rushing touchdowns between the two quarterbacks so far tonight, and I've got a feeling we're not done. Jack Coleman, by the way, the kicker on that extra point attempt, which was good for Amherst. 5 minutes, 46 seconds to go now. The score, Amherst 7, North Ridgeville 21. Offense finally coming alive for the Comets. Let's see if their defense can respond. And albeit a quick one, that trip to the red zone was brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. And deep, booming kick. We fielded about the 5. Returner working his way up the near side, finds a little bit of space, bowls over another tackler, finally brought down at the 45, Dylan DeShazo. And anytime he's got the ball in his hands, he is a threat. Despite the deep kick, great starting field position now for the Rangers.
And he just improved each week, hasn't he? I mean, week 1, we saw him in moments, but now, I mean, we saw 2 weeks ago where he had his shining moments, and today he's just been a featured character for them on the field. They need more of him if they want to run away with this game after the Amherst score.
1st and 10 from the 44. They got 5 minutes, 38 seconds to work with. Still all 3 timeouts. Calls for it. Halfback or quarterback draw rather. Still running up the far sideline and brought down after picking up the first. Good patient running there from Cole Miller. And they're into Amherst Steele territory. Again, folks, make sure stick around for our Cement Mason Local 404 Union Halftime Show hosted by Dom Clary. And it'll feature an interview with North Ridgeville 7th grade football coach Kenny Wilson. And of course, we'll get you updated on scores from all across Northeast Ohio. Handoff again, but nowhere to go that time. Amherst ready for that one. That was number 11, Mason Morales, in on the tackle. And Mason Morales, part of a pair of ball hawking linebackers, him and Tyler Den for Amherst. They've been making their impact felt so far tonight. A couple good defensive stands for Amherst. We're looking for another one here. 2nd and 10 now. Miller, low snap, but handles it. Running, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Barrels someone over.
Good grief.
And manages to pick up about 5. It looked like he was trying just to avoid the loss there. But again, 6'5" Cole Miller uses every bit of that frame. And now they're going to say he stepped out of bounds on that second effort, but still picks up 1.
I mean, what are you supposed to do when he's barreling towards you?
Pray.
Yeah, you just
I
got to
really
eat
don't
it.
want to tackle him. I'm good. There's a reason I'm up here, Dom.
Why, we're up here.
Yeah.
And I played.
You at least had some experience in it. 3rd and 9 now from the 44. Pistol formation. Man in motion now. Miller snaps, going to throw it right up the middle off the hands of Cole Allison. 4th down now. And it looks like we will see the punting unit for the 2nd time tonight now for North Ridgeville. And went for it twice on 4th down early. Between that and the 2 onside kicks, Rangers generally not shy to being aggressive. But in this scenario, hoping to pin Amherst back deep. And actually set up one of their touchdowns earlier when Christensen had to punt out of his own end zone. Kind of a broken play. Eventually, the Rangers got the ball at the 20-yard line. That is up and away and still rolling. And it'll be picked up right around the 15-yard line. And that is where Amherst will get started. The last drive, Cy Christensen broke free for a massive run to give them their first touchdown of the night. We'll hope to do the same on this one. He's got 4 minutes, 14 seconds to work with here. No timeouts burned on either side.
You know, it's easy to say, hey, go out there and do it again, kid. 64 yards, just get home
Why
one
don't we just
chunk
do this
again.
every time?
Oh, no big deal.
It's that easy. It's that easy. No, but of course, you want to try to put more of a complete drive together. That's one thing offensive coordinators want. They want you to get first downs in 3 plays consistently.
1st and 10 from the 15. Christensen throws it up the middle, but a little bit too much on that one. Peyton Leibacher, the intended receiver. And obviously, we've talked plenty about Christensen. The one thing I'll say, his pocket presence. He is very confident in the pocket. He stands still. He does not get overly jittery. He waits until the pocket's truly collapsing and try to make a play again. We did see maybe hanging out a little bit too long sometimes. But he is calm in the face of pressure. 2nd and 10 now. Got 2 receivers spread out far to the left. 2 receivers a little bit closer on his right side. Fakes the handoff, now rolling out far, throws it, open receiver, had to make a diving effort. Not quite able to haul that in. 3rd down, David Dudziak, the intended receiver. Again, got to get some yardage here. As of now, if they don't gain anything, they would be punting just on the edge of their end zone.
If you can just pick up 1 first down here. 1 easy little first down is what some people would say. But no, they're hard to pick up, of course. But if you just pick up this first down, you're in good shape to at least, prevent North Ridgeville from being able to drive down and double dip before half.
3rd and 10. Throw to the far side, high, but hauled in. A receiver picks up maybe 5 yards on the play. Well defended by North Ridgeville. So that's 4th down. Punting unit will come out. The offense at least gave them a little bit of breathing room.
One of the things I'm going to look for here on this punt is just seeing if the long snapper could get a feel back for his snap, as back-to-back punts have been really high snaps that Christensen has had to snag with one hand to avoid losing the football.
And handles it that time. Punt is up. Going to be fielded at the 45, and he's met right there, still fighting. Finally, Amherst gets some help. Second tackler comes in. Well fielded that time. That was Ryan Anderson, North Ridgeville. So they'll start this drive in Amherst territory. Not a lot's come off the clock still. 3 minutes, 46 seconds left here in the first half. We're going to start on Amherst 45. Miller calls for it. He's going to run it himself. goes up the gut, met by a host of Comet tacklers there, led by Patrick Fellenstein. They'll give him a yard.
Yeah, defense did a good job of filling the gaps there like a shooting star. Good job there by the linebacker core, making sure they're upfield and quick. You like that pun?
That's good.
Just get it because the Comets a shooting
Yes,
star.
I got it.
Though technically, it's not a star at all. It's a meteor
It's
made
just a
out
flaming rock.
of space rock. A star is gas.
And energy.
Second down for the Rangers. Miller by himself. Throws. Well defended that time. That was Jack Coleman for Amherst in to deflect that pass away.
Speaking of the shooting stars and the linebackers of the Amherst Comets here, they've done a much better job after those first 2 offensive drives from North Ridgeville of just containing the run game, containing Cole Miller. Obviously, on that third touchdown they had, North Ridgeville had a very short field. They did not have far to go at all to reach the end zone. But in the long field, Amherst has done a lot better job of just defending the pass game and making sure someone's at least watching Cole Miller his every move, even when he drops back in the pocket.
It's going to be 3rd and 8 for North Ridgeville. Pistol formation. Miller going to throw. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Uncorks it deep. Open receiver. Off his chest. Defender caught up to him. Not an easy catch.
His hand got in between it, Brandon. It's hard to see.
Wow.
Put his hand right there, and he hauled it in at first, and that hand just shot it right back out. Excellent defense there by Amherst.
A couple great plays by the corners of the Comets. Say that 5 times fast.
I just tried giving my second announcer's jinx of the night, giving some props to Amherst defense, and Cole Miller drops one right in the bucket, just could not be hauled in by the receiver.
2:52 left to go as the punt is up and away. High punt, fair catch called for.
Ooh.
Still decided to field it. Brought down around the 14. Dangerous, but hauls it in.
It's tight quarters down there in a punt return, especially when you get hang time like that on a punt. Gives your guys plenty of time to get down there and have good coverage to make sure there's no big return. And when you have a return like that or a catch like that on a punt, you just got to get ready as a kicking team. See if that ball doesn't get muffed, and you have a chance of jumping on the football.
That was Nick Wilkinson who fielded that. 1st and 10 now from the 15. It's going to be a handoff. Back has some open field in front of him. Brought down right around the 40. Michael Passarello Jr. on the carry. 1st down, Amherst. And they're going to hurry up to the line here now. Time starting to become a factor. Going to be a handoff again. This time back only picks up a couple there. Passarello Jr. once again the carrier.
I mean, that's 4 yards there. That's what you want. The 15-yarder is perfect, right? Because now you have the linebackers like, oh, shoot. These guys are starting to break through that first line that we have there. They've been playing good all day. Not used to that. And then, boom, 4 yards. You get 3 of those, Brandon Marvel. What is that? A 1st down.
3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3.
I said 4.
Second and stick. Under 2 minutes now. Christensen going to run it himself. Steps out of bounds just before that 1st down marker. So it'll be 3rd and short. Clock does stop now at 1:58.
I mean, it's 3rd and short, but this is the type of momentum that you want. I mean, this is the first time that we've seen 3 plays in a row go for more than 5 yards. Or more than 4 yards, I should say. I mean, it's if they can keep this up, this is the team that can get back into this ball game. This is exactly what you want to see right now from this team.
And I was just going to mention this is something similar we saw to North Ridgeville a couple weeks ago. At the end of the first half, they were starting to get that offense rolling, and now Amherst is in that same position.
3rd and 1. Going to be a delayed handoff, and North Ridgeville was ready for it. Back loses 1 on the play. That was Braden Laszlo again, called his name a couple times tonight. The senior defensive lineman for North Ridgeville. Now decision time for the Comets. 4th and 2, 1:30 left in the half. Clock still ticking. No team has used any of their timeouts. And it does look like the Amherst Steele offense will remain out there. 2 yards to pick up the first down.
This might be a pooch punt.
And let's see, Christensen gonna roll out and stretches forward. He stopped short. He picked up a yard he needed to. North Ridgeville will take back over at midfield with 1:11 and 3 timeouts to work with.
And that's team tackling. Now, the first guy, I couldn't see the numbers, but the first player that was there for North Ridgeville got the initial trip up. But if it wasn't for the second defender right behind him to hit him to make sure the dive in the second effort didn't get to that first down marker, he stopped him short and gets a turnover on downs and gets a big play for North Ridgeville now, as Dom mentioned, a chance to double dip for North Ridgeville.
1st and 10.
We got to find a new way to say that.
Yeah, it's not my favorite term, but
Double dip. Yeah, it's like gross. There's like caramel at the place you're at, the house you're at. You took a bite out of your apple, and then you dip your apple again. On the end, you already that's gross, unsanitary.
They're going for a twofer.
Yeah, I don't like
A
that
little
either.
2-for-1 a little BOGO.
I like that little BOGO. Little kerfuffle.
So a timeout by Amherst. North Ridgeville going to start just in Amherst territory.
A lot of people behind us right now.
Getting close to halftime here, as mentioned. And we're going to have the Cement Mason Local 404 Union halftime show hosted by Dom Clary.
That's me.
He'll be interviewing Ken Wilson, the coach of the 7th grade North Ridgeville football team. SWC champs went undefeated this season. Excited to talk to Coach. Then, of course, we will get you updates on games all across Northeast Ohio.
Wait, are the youth leagues like the same as the high school ones here?
great question.
That is a great question that you can ask Coach, as Cole Miller is going to take off with this one, still bouncing around outside. Flag does come down, steps out of bounds just before the 40. And Miller doing what he could just to avoid losing yardage there. Wonder if we got a hold.
Yep.
And sure did. So I believe that's the 3rd holding penalty tonight on North Ridgeville. Amherst played a cleaner game so far, a couple personal foul penalties. But otherwise, the flag has primarily been against North Ridgeville. They do still lead this game, 21-7. 1st and 15. Miller going to hand off. Flea flicker. Faces pressure, though. Now has to roll out, looking for a receiver. Throws it towards the sideline. Caught. And knocked out of bounds. Pick up about 10 there.
And despite the play made by Cole Miller, I talked about that last drive. The Amherst defense has been much better just making sure everybody knows what, at least one person knows what Cole Miller is doing at all times. You get a flea flicker there, but then immediate pressure from the Amherst defense.
2nd and 4 now. Clock stopped at 55 seconds. Miller all by himself in the backfield. Amherst showing pressure. They're going to send it. Miller evades it, still looking to throw, throws it away as he's getting dragged down. Good pressure that time by the Comets. 3rd down. Still 50 seconds left in the first half here. Should they decide to use in Ridgeville, 3 timeouts. Holding on to a 21-7 lead over the Amherst Steele Comets. 3rd down. Miller this time in pistol formation. He's got it, gonna look to throw. Pressure coming from behind, still rolling around. Now throws it effortlessly down the field and off the hands of his receiver. Literally just flicked the wrist there.
I want everybody tomorrow or even tonight, if you have time, if you have 35 yards of field or a backyard or anywhere you could go, try running to your right side, or if you're left-handed, left side, you got to just throw across your body. Try to throw a straight line. See how far you could throw it. It's not that easy. He made that look very, very easy.
That'll be 4th and 4. And again, didn't even really wind up his arm for that.
It's like Aaron Rodgers' wrist flick.
Are going to go for it here on 4th down. Miller going to keep it himself, looking for space. Comets all over it. Now reversing field, still up, and decides to just sit down to avoid further problems for the 3rd time tonight, though. 4th down stand by the Amherst Steele Comets.
They've done well being tough on defense. They've given up chunk plays all day, but when it matters most on 3rd and 4th down, they've been effective and done a good job at that. As the people we're interviewing just turn the lights off at the press box.
So that's always nice to see. Don't worry, guys. We'll get to you. All right. We got 34 seconds left here. Amherst with 2 timeouts. Okay, North Ridgeville will get the ball to start the second half.
Look deep. Why not? I mean, it just works as a punt anyway if it's an interception.
Christensen's got the arm for it. Ball snapped. Fakes the handoff. Christensen is going to look deep. Left side. Trying to track that down. Flows out of bounds. That'll be 2nd and long. Few seconds come off the clock there. Still 28. We're set again. New call comes in.
Expect a 2-high show here. Both safeties drop back deep. It's probably more like a 4 shell, really.
All the linemen on the outside standing up there for North Ridgeville. Christensen rolls out. Completed pass. Receiver tries to get out of bounds. Not able to get over there. Great job defending the sidelines there for North Ridgeville.
That's a very important play. If you could get out of bounds, you stop the clock. You don't have to burn a timeout. Now with that tackle by the North Ridgeville defensive back, great job by him with that open field tackle, keeping the receiver in bounds. You force Amherst to take a timeout, and now they only have 1 left with 20 seconds left before halftime.
That was Peyton Liebacker on the reception there for Amherst. As Marvel mentioned, now 20 seconds left. Right, the last 2 minutes of a basketball game. We are taking our time here. That's credit to both defenses. Really tightening down these last few drives. Amherst trying to make this a 1-score game before halftime. 3rd and 4. Again, now just 1 timeout remaining for the Comets. Christensen set, ready, fakes the handoff. Pressure coming, rolls out left, looking to throw deep again, right towards the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Oh my goodness, Cy Christensen. First with his legs, now with his arms. And we got a 1-score game.
That's exactly how you get back in a ball game. You be stout. No matter what happens to special teams, you are stout on defense. It's 3rd down, it's 4th down, short, long, doesn't matter. We're going to stop your best player, and Cole Miller. We're going to then have a 64-yard rush. Okay, we can't get anything going off its next few possessions. Stop on defense, stop on defense, stop on defense. We only got 20 seconds? No problem. That's actually too much time. We're going to leave 11 on. Boom, Cy Christensen. Do what you do, big fella, and throw that ball deep just where one of your wide receivers can get it. Just like how Terry Bradshaw used to do with Lynn Swan and John Stallworth. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. That coverage lost the ball in the lights. And now we have a 1-score ball game. Who would have thought that was going to happen in the first quarter the way this game was going?
Looked like North Ridgeville could run away with this one early. They were up 20 to nothing, I believe, correct?
Yes.
21 to nothing early in the second quarter. And you're thinking, gosh, get the ball at the start of the second half. This offense seems not to be able to be stopped. As you mentioned, Amherst defense, they step up. They start getting stops on 4th down and stops on 4th down, stops on 4th down, forcing North Ridgeville into tough positions on defense, giving Amherst a shorter field each drive. And like you said, Cy Christensen is coming to play here late in this first half.
The explosives coming in big for this Amherst offense. is what we kind of expected. If they were going to be able to hang in this one, they were going to need the big plays from Christensen. They've gotten them. And I want to confirm, looked like Peyton Liebacker, the receiver on that deep touchdown. Low kick off the chest of the North Ridgeville player, still bouncing around, but eventually able to get on top of that. 8 seconds left. Imagine North Ridgeville will be okay kneeling this one out. They do get the ball to start the second half. We'll see if they decide to throw one deep or just head to the locker room.
I mean, the way the second quarter's gone.
Just take it.
Yeah. You say kick it?
Take it.
Kick it.
Oh,
Take it to the locker
Screw it.
room.
Kick it. I don't know about
Just,
that.
see how that
I don't know
goes.
about that strategy, Cotton.
Sebastian Janikowski's out there somewhere.
An 85-yard field goal. It's doable. And we're just going to get a handoff here. North Ridgeville. And no timeout, so that's going to do it for the first half, folks. We've got ourselves a ball game. 14 unanswered from Amherst Steele. They currently trail the North Ridgeville Rangers 21-14. You're watching the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. It's the Cement Mason Local 404 Union Halftime Show coming up after these messages.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by the Cement Mason Local 404 Union. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or an apprentice, their doors are open for you to join the union. Current and future demand for skilled craftsmen necessitates an apprenticeship program that takes into consideration practices of one of the world's oldest trades, along with instruction in new techniques, applications, technologies, and materials. The Local 404 Cement Masons Joint Apprenticeship Training Program supports a world-class curriculum of instruction and on-the-job training for more than 40 apprentices annually. Union Cement Mason skills are honed with the most comprehensive apprenticeship training program in the industry. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. The Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council provides essential coordination and support to the work of its affiliated local unions in order that, through inter-trade solidarity, organized construction workers achieve a powerful voice in government, bargaining, and in their communities. They work to secure the trade jurisdiction and autonomy of their affiliates as the respected arbiter of trade issues, and through that work contribute to the community of employment and economic security of organized construction workers. Established in 1913, the Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council continues to provide skilled union craftsmanship throughout Northeast Ohio. Neopat is a nonprofit dedicated to supporting veterans, military service members, and their families right here in our community. From emergency assistance to family events, scholarships, and mental wellness programs, Neopat works to honor their service and sacrifice. You can make a difference by donating, volunteering, or sponsoring programs that directly impact local military families. Learn more and get involved at neopat.org.
North Ridgeville Athletic Boosters is a charitable organization consisting of dedicated Ranger supporters serving athletes, coaches in our community.
Chatty's Pizzeria. In the heart of Bay Village at 28611 Lake Road, this incredible pizzeria offers a full menu of food and drinks. They have everything from a casual dining experience to the romantic setting of a long-awaited date night. Their food is made on the spot with fresh ingredients and classic recipes that the entire family will enjoy. From a cozy spot in the igloo to the party room, everyone will be taken care of. Call 440-471-4485 or email info@Chatty's Pizzeria for reservations.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53.
Welcome on in to the Cement Mason Locals 404 Union Halftime Show. I'm with the 7th grade undefeated football team, North Ridgeville Rangers, with Coach Sean Fleming. Coach, how are you today?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Good. So we have a good amount of your team up here with us. If you want to go down the line and introduce some of your players here.
We got Jake Wilson, Calvin Boner, Chase Kelly, Caleb Fleming, Nate Dillon, and Luca Gianmarco.
So, Coach, tell us a little bit about the season. You guys were undefeated. What were some of the things they had to go through as a team, whether it was early in August when they first got together or whether it was later in the season? What was some of the stuff that they went through together as a team and how they grow as a group of young men coming together on the football field?
Well, I think 7th graders are always coming in on two-a-days. It's always a shock to go through two-a-days as a 7th grade team. They're used to an hour practice. So two-a-days are a little bit of a shock. And then I think the longevity of the season as it progresses is always a challenge for a 7th grade team and some 8th grade team to sustain, a 10-week season.
Now, how's the coaching staff, get these kids to focus in for 2 weeks for camp for 7th grade?
Probably about 4 weeks total.
4 weeks.
Camps.
So how do you guys get a group of 7th graders to dial in for 4 weeks, learn the playbook, be efficient, kind of grow together and be a unit?
The entire coaching staff, the program. I mean, we've added a lot of volunteer coaches, and without a lot of those volunteer coaches, a lot of this is not possible. So it takes a lot. It's a lot of commitment. It's a huge commitment for them. Their summers, they miss 3-4 weeks of their summer. So I think that's also another thing why football is not easy because, it cuts into a lot of your kid time. So they're by the end of the season, they're kind of worn out.
Now, again, 7th grade, last thing you want to do in your summer is to give it away, right? Not hanging out with your friends, not running around the neighborhood causing problems, but being on the football field. How did some of these kids have to grow up a little bit early this season, or were they still able to be kids and have fun and be able to enjoy the game?
I think they're able to enjoy the game. This group has played together for, going on, this is their 4th year together, for most of them anyways. And I believe they got better as the season went on. And I also think that practice, when you got one game a week, sometimes there's 2 games a week, and then you got practice on Mondays and Thursdays or Mondays and Wednesdays. Your really true day off is Fridays.
Now, how big in Ohio is the jump from youth football into junior high where they're starting to kind of learn the program a little bit more and kind of be integrated into kind of the school program rather than being part of the youth program? What's the jump? How big of a jump is that for some of these kids?
For some of the kids, it's huge. For others that are a little bit more gifted early, I think it comes a little bit easier to them. But that's not everyone. So there's a lot of our kids on our team that are first-year players, and those kids did an excellent job when their name was called on. We do gold games against maybe like Keystone, another little bit talent that they could play against, and sometimes it's shocking for those kids to jump from a regular opponent to like an SWC team.
What was the moment of the season for you guys that you would say?
Our last game of the season against Midview. We both went into that game undefeated. Last year, this group lost to that team 22-21, and that was our mission. It happened to be the last game of the season. Both teams going in undefeated, and ultimately coming out on top 28-0 was a huge moment, and can't be prouder of these kids. It was a phenomenal year.
Now, last question for you, Coach. How does this program get them ready for 8th grade, 9th grade, and above when they get ready for varsity in so many years? How do you guys get these kids ready to step up to the next level? And so when they're into the varsity system, there's no drop off in understanding the offense and in kind of the culture of the team. How do you guys integrate that so things kind of run smoothly?
Well, first of all, it starts in the off season, right? Like getting in the gym, doing our workout program, being there as much as you can possibly be when you're not in another sport, you're in another sport. Let's just face it, they're in 7th grade, 8th grade. They shouldn't be held to one sport, but it's the off season. And then in season, it's position. It's a lot of indies. It's a lot of understanding our offense, which we do most of the time in 2-a-days. And we really just rely on all of our coaches building them for the next level. And as we already ended our season, we're already looking to go right into our off-season workout.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate
That's
it.
Coach Sean Fleming of the 7th grade North Ridgeville football team. That was Cement Mason Loco 4-4 Union halftime show. That's just part one. We'll be back with the scores here in a minute, but we thank the 7th grade football team at North Ridgeville for joining us today and Coach Fleming, and wish them success and congratulations as they had their undefeated season in the SWC.
This week's Key on Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Rookie's Sports Bar and Grill, your one stop for all things food and fun, with a variety of cold drinks as well. They have fun and games, great people, great laughs, and great times. They feature the largest selection of dartboards and pool tables you'll find on the west side. From warm food to cold beer, they have you covered from start to finish. Check them out today at 6913 West 130th Street in Parma Heights. They are right in the heart of town. You'll walk away satisfied at Rookies as they hit a home run every time. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com.
Sergeant Clean Car Wash delivers the highest quality car wash and superior customer service in Northeast Ohio in the shortest amount of time possible. Their mission is to provide the highest quality car wash and superior customer service while serving as positive role models in their communities. You will not find a better car wash than Sergeant Clean.
The Robert Gates Legacy Foundation. This foundation aims to raise money to provide relief to organ transplant recipients. The cost of rejection medications are thousands of dollars per month, and they are needed to keep organ recipients alive. They also provide scholarships in Robert Gates' name and provide financial relief to living donors as they take time off of work for testing, workups, and surgeries, all to save someone's life by giving the gift of life. Lally's Handyman Service. From deck and fence building to indoor and outdoor remodeling, Lally's Handyman Service has you covered. Matt and his crew have been out to my home numerous times for a multitude of services and have hit a home run every time. Repair, replace, and remodel with Lally's Handyman Service. Give them a call at 216-789-2047. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, then look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Pulp in North Olmsted and North Ridgeville. Tasty, healthy, and made fresh every single time. Pulp was created to be a better juice and smoothie bar. They've created smoothies, bowls, and juices to be the best tasting things you've ever tried. They focus on being truly healthy with their products and never compromise on quality. Their quick and friendly staff is passionate about making your visit to Pulp a great part of your day.
Let Katie Grasso take the hassle out of planning your next dream vacation. With CJ Vacations, they get you to the destination you want to be at with the price you can afford.
West Side Fleet. The West Side Fleet will be back in North Olmsted this summer at a brand new location in the south parking lot of the Great Northern Mall. Vendors and food trucks will be set up in the parking lot area. They'll have music, kids games, and more in the grassy area. As always, it is rain or shine, and this is an outdoor event. Dates to visit are as follows: August 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and September 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. North Olmsted Sportsman's Club. They offer a little bit of everything that the true outdoor sportsman would enjoy. At NOSC, memberships are open to everyone from novice to master. For those just starting, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources sponsors several adult and junior programs open to the public at NOSC. Everything is provided free of charge, including equipment, ammo, and targets. Also, don't forget Ladies' Night. Find out more about one of North Olmsted's oldest and most prestigious clubs at nosc-online.com.
Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Tech Corp LLC. Through a relentless commitment to quality and service, Tech Corp LLC has developed a reputation for delivering work that exceeds expectations. They have the knowledge and experience to handle projects of any size and scope. Tech Corp LLC specializes in commercial and industrial roofing and offers assessment management programs, inspections, infrared scanning, restoration, project management, and consulting. You can reach them today by phone at 888-588-5524. Scalpers Bar and Grill. Scalpers Bar and Grill does it like no one else around. Unlike other places that close as early as 9 p.m., at Scalpers they stay open till 2 a.m. all 7 days of the week. They have the best food you'll ever put in your mouth, as they're serving up everything from subs, burgers, wings, and apps to Philly cheesesteaks, ice-cold beer, and everything you would want to eat. Do the best thing possible and make a personal trip there at 5718 Mayfield Road in Lyndhurst.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandich, and Brock Sandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Brock Sandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline stops you. They need to get back up to that pace here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis bouncing it to the outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and just like that. 4 plays, 4 runs, all carries for Marquise Davis, a guy who ran for 333 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Did not have a big first half. It was quiet, and he shows up on the first drive right when the Tigers need him, 10-6.
You know, he gets that edge. There's no one that can catch him. There needs to be someone right in front of him if they want any hopes of stopping Marquise Davis. He has that.
If you're Cleveland Heights, you can use Brunswick's game against them. Still 8 minutes to go, but continue to run the ball, run the clock, and you have an opportunity for a fresh set of downs before making it into the end zone.
Davis slipping through a couple tacklers, keeps the legs churning. Nobody could bring him down. Was touched back around the 8-yard line and just kept dragging defenders. And that's why he's the type of running back prospect we've been. Happened to the green wave on the other end. Here an option, this one going to be a pitch to the outside. Got a block and going to step into the end zone right around the corner. Nice blocking there by the wide receiver, setting that edge and giving some room for number 30, Andre Jenkins, the sophomore, to make his way into the end zone untouched. And also credit to Elijah Gray on that pitch, well timed on driving once again, looking to get their first win of the season and break that 9-game win streak for Holy Name dating back to 2013. But right now, Holy Name, they need to get a stop here.
This week's Key on Sports Game of the Week is brought.
Welcome back into the second half of the Cement Mason Local 404 Union halftime show. I'm Dominic Clary. As Brandon Marvel clicked the wrong button. Thank you, Brandon, for helping out for the halftime show. We'll go over some scores really quick and then get back in the game. The score's 21-14 here. It's been a nail-biter. It started off as what appeared to be a blowout, but no, not today, as Cy Christensen has showed how malleable he can be with his arm and with his feet as Amherst bounces back quickly. Berea Mid-Park, they're bouncing back after a 3-game skid. They're winning 31-7 against Elyria in the third quarter. Austintown Fitch is losing the Boardman in a battle of bordering Youngstown schools, 7-0 in the second half. Solon is getting whomped by Brecksville and Broadview Heights, 32-0. Fairview bringing the hammer down on Brooklyn, 42-0 in the second quarter. Brunswick, and this is a game that we anticipated all week. They were beating Cleveland Heights 14-0, and we're going to see what that Strongsville score is tonight as well, as that's going to be a game of interest. We'll be out there next week, as that will be one of the most hyped games, arguably, and I think Brandon Soder, our play-by-play man, would agree with me, our most hyped game we've ever had for Week 10 in the amount of times that we've done this here for the Keon Sports Game of the Week. Medina and Euclid are currently tied. We'll see if there's an update on that or if that's a misfire there. Usually you'd see a score. At this point in the ball game, Girard, wow, they're beating Hubbard 34-6. Not something you typically see from Hubbard, as they are one of the powerhouses in the Mahoning Valley. Down near Youngstown, they've been good over the years. Holy Name losing to Lake Catholic in a conference matchup, 28-7. Bay beating Lakewood, 24-7. Menor beating Lorraine, 21-0. Lutheran East beating Lucas 12-6 in the third quarter. A few more scores looking for Strongsville real quick. Then we'll get you back to the action. These players are starting to stretch. Buckeye, they're beating Rocky River 21-14 in the third quarter. That's a close one so far. St. Xavier is beating St. Ignatius 34-7. Shaker Heights and Strongsville are in a close one, 3-0 to score in the second quarter. They should be at halftime right about now. Valley Forge has a slight lead over North Homestead, 10-7. Wadsworth beating Stowe Monroe Falls 38-13. And Chardon beating Willoughby South 13-10. And that's it for me, Dom Clary, from the Smith Mason Local 404 Union Halftime Show. We'll be back in just a few short minutes, around 3 minutes, for a 21-14 game between North Ridgeville and Amherst Steele. The Comets have bounced back, and they played well. That's it for the Smith Mason Local 404 Union Halftime Show. We'll be back shortly.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Rock Sandage, and Rock Sandage said, nope, give me that, I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Rock Sandage gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, their smart players on the field, they have a chance to win the game. They need to be a little bit more. The adrenaline stops you. They need to get back up to that pace here.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Davis bouncing it to the outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, and just like that. 4 plays, 4 runs, all carries for Marquise Davis, a guy who ran for 333 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Did not have a big first half. It was quiet, and he shows up on the first drive right when the Tigers need him, 10-6.
You know, he gets that edge. There's no one that can catch him. There needs to be someone right in front of him if they want any hopes of stopping Marquise Davis. He has that.
If you're Cleveland Heights, you can use Brunswick's game against them. Still 8 minutes to go, but continue to run the ball, run the clock, and you have an opportunity for a fresh set of downs before making it into the end zone.
Davis slipping through a couple tacklers, keeps the legs churning. Nobody could bring him down. Was touched back around the 8-yard line and just kept dragging defenders. And that's why he's the type of running back prospect we've been up into the green wave on the other end. Here an option, this one going to be a pitch to the outside. Got a block and going to step into the end zone right around the corner. Nice blocking there by the wide receiver, setting that edge and giving some room for number 30, Andre Jenkins, the sophomore, to make his way into the end zone untouched. And also credit to Elijah Gray on that pitch, well timed on the driving once again, looking to get their first win of the season and break that 9-game win streak for Holy Name dating back to 2013. But right now, Holy Name, they need to get a stop here. I know it's early in this game, but things are trending the way of Normandy. And a lot of it's because of Elijah Gray, the quarterback, trying to make a man miss an open field. He does. Past the 15-yard line, slips past the tackler, cuts inside, and he's going to barrel his way into the end zone. I'll tell you what's more slippery than that football tonight, and that is the quarterback, Elijah Gray. Nobody can bring that man down.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is one of the most exciting runners of a quarterback that I've seen.
And a reminder that this trip to the red zone has been brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement.
And welcome into the second half of our Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Amherst Steele traveling in to take on North Ridgeville. Ridgeville currently leading 21-14. I'm Brandon Soder. With me, Dom Clary. We just heard on our halftime show the nice interview and look around high school football. And, of course, Brandon Marvel with us as well, running the ship. That's going to be picked up at the 25-yard line. North Ridgeville will start off with possession. Really nowhere to go. Picks up about 7 on the return. We'll see Cole Miller and the Rangers make their way back out after a hot start. They've given up 14 unanswered to Amherst, courtesy of an explosive run and then an explosive pass, both from Cy Christensen. It's also the defense of the Comets with 3 fourth-down stops so far this evening. We'll see if they can continue here. 1st and 10 now from the 32. Be play action, pass up the middle. A little bit too much on that, off the hands of DeShazo. 2nd down now, Rangers.
You know, if you want to go back, watch that halftime show after the game, we had the entire 7th grade football team up here.
Yes, and that's not an exaggeration. The entire 7th grade football team, undefeated.
With Coach Sean Fleming, yes.
And this time, another fake handoff, going to get pitched on the option, but nowhere to go for the running back. The Amherst defense came out ready to play. Loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for North Ridgeville.
I don't know what changed after that first quarter, but this Amherst team is playing. Their defense is playing like steel right now. Ha ha. Still curtain, some would say. They are playing a lot better, though, truth be told. They're swarming to the ball. They're doing a good job corralling around the pass. Good work by the secondary and the front sevens holding strong.
3rd and 11. Miller by himself in the backfield. Has time. Throws it deep. And that's picked off. Number 0, Jack Holman, has been all over the field for Amherst. He comes up with a big interception on the first offensive drive for North Ridgeville. Now the Comets get a chance to respond.
You know, North Ridgeville's gone away from their quick pass that we saw early in the game. And again, 2 weeks ago, we saw them doing a lot of quick passes, get drive started, get the offense rolling. Then you could open up the run game, the read option, triple option, whatever you may want to do. They've taken a lot of deep shots here in the past 2 quarters. In the second quarter, after they came up with a big 21-0 lead, and now here to start the first half, and Amherst once again comes up with a big defensive play, this time with an interception by Jack Holman.
Less than a minute taken off the clock. 11:07 left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Christensen calls for it. He's going to run, working his way up the near sideline, steps out of bounds, but a late flag. It's a 1-yard gain initially, but they're going to call holding on the Comets.
You know, I hate how it's a 10-yard penalty. I feel like it's too much of a crime. Like, there's other stuff that you do and it's not 10 yards that I feel is worse.
No, I do actually agree with you there, and especially on the high school level when yardage is so crucial, so important. It does feel like a lot for a relatively subjective call that you, in theory, really could call any play.
And it's really a judgment call, truly, because you have to pick and choose if it affects the play or not as well.
So now 1st and 20 for the Comets. Christensen all by himself in the backfield. Takes it, going to look to throw, clean pocket, throws it low and out of the hands of the receiver, David Dudziak. Hit the ground right as it got to him.
This is a big drive for both teams, really, because if Amherst can go down and tie this game, I mean, it's a brand new ball game. Now, if North Ridgeville could get a stop, they'll give them the momentum back just a little bit and put some faith back into this team that, hey, we're North Ridgeville. We're 7-1. Yes, we've had injuries. Yes, we've had to come from behind, but now we have the lead. Let's not give it up.
2nd and 20, empty set again. Christensen drops back, has to roll out, pressure coming, throws and low. Again at the feet of his receiver. Christensen has struggled throwing on the run tonight. When given time in a clean pocket, he's been able to throw deep with accuracy. Been a little bit of a different story as he's gotten flushed out.
And it's gotten colder down there, right? You saw him kind of stretching his arm out, a little stiff coming out at halftime. It's going to take him some time to get warmed up, especially on the run where it's a little bit tougher as the press box is starting to shake here on 3rd and long.
3rd and 20. Big defensive play here for North Ridgeville. After throwing a pick to get this drive or to get the half started, Christensen going to throw for the 3rd straight play. Steps up, throws it up the middle into danger, but falls incomplete. Brian Strippy in the area of it, the cornerback, or linebacker rather, for North Ridgeville. But falls incomplete. Punt unit comes back out for Amherst, not able to capitalize on the interception.
In North Ridgeville, this home crowd's always gets very into the game. We saw it a couple weeks ago against Berea Mid Park. We saw it week 1, where they just really get into the game, and if it's a close game, they make themselves heard, and they let the team know, we're still behind you, we're with you, we're watching, and we're with you all the way to the end.
And a false start on Amherst there. Going to push his punt back another 5 yards. Christensen going to let this one rip from about the 6-yard line. When he's been able to get the punts off, he's been very successful tonight. Had one go high over him and nearly out of the back of the end zone earlier that he decided to tuck and run. This time, though, kicks it clean, picked up at the 50. Returner makes the first man miss, but not the second. He'll be brought down at the 45.
Let's see if this defense can continue holding strong. They've done it backed up on their own end. Even towards their own end zone, they've stopped North Ridgeville from scoring. Curious to see how long they can do it until this defense breaks over time.
That was Carter Clark, the senior defensive back that time, on the return for the Rangers. We'll put them in Comet territory, at least for the time being. A little bit of discussion. There was a flag that came in on the play.
There's a North Ridgeville coach on the sideline that is beside himself. Had to walk away from the ref before maybe he got a penalty of his own.
So based on that, I'd assume this is going against the Rangers. Still waiting for the official call here. And yes, holding on North Ridgeville. We'll see where they ultimately decide to.
If it's on the
set up
Rangers,
shot. Yeah, why are we moving further down?
Looks like
in like 40 yards.
They addressed
What
it.
in the
It looks
world?
like on the punt. So they're redoing the
They're redoing
punt.
the
Oh, they're
punt,
redoing
yes.
the punt. Okay, thank you.
I still saw the 4 up, and I was like,
All right, crisis averted. So 4th and 15 now. A little bit more room to work with. Christensen again gets it off cleanly and gets about 5 more yards on that kick. That'll be fair caught at the 45. So a 10-yard swing, courtesy of the penalty, as now North Ridgeville will start on their own side of the field. Now we'll see Cole Miller and the Rangers again. After putting up 21 straight, the offense has gone quiet. Been stopped on 4th down a handful of times already tonight. And threw an interception on the last drive.
and I'd like them to call Cole Miller's number a little bit more this drive, whether that's with the quick pass or the design runs. It's been a lot of read option, a lot of deep shots here lately, and as you've seen, they haven't scored in a long time. So try to get back to their bread and butter a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 44. Going to be a handoff right up the middle. Back still churning. He's got the 1st down.
That works too.
Or you could just not listen to Brandon Marvel in the slightest. Matthew Flesher on the carry that time.
You know, having Fletcher and company operate as a tandem, working well, getting chunk yards like that opens up things for Cole Miller. If they can get everyone else to do their jobs in small parts, right, Fleming and company, Miller can do more and more with the ball in his hand.
1st and 10 from the 46. Flesher again with the carry, and again, nearly the same result. He's going to be right on that 1st down line. I think he's going to be maybe a yard short. Then a great run by Flesher. He's going to get spelled out. New running back coming into the game for North Ridgeville. Second down and 1 to go. This time Miller going to keep it himself. He's got it. Still up on his feet, pushing forward. And Cole Miller, so hard to bring down. A little bit of assistance from the offensive line. Another 1st down for North Ridgeville. They're knocking on the door of the red zone. Going to mark this at about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10. Now under 9 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Or sorry, the 1st quarter. 3rd quarter. Try that again.
I hope it's not the 1st quarter.
Miller going to hand it off. Again up the gut. North Ridgeville finding some success with the inside run on this drive. Number 26, Luke Bartell, getting some work for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they are really mixing things up, aren't they?
Sure are. That brings them to the 17-yard line, which means this trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. 2nd and 4. North Ridgeville's methodical offense back to form. Handoff again. They're going to bounce outside this time. Not as much luck there. Is Amherst ready for that one? Tyler Den, the linebacker, first one in on that play for the Comets.
Boy, do I love the pistol offense. And that's what they're running right now. Quarterback, I think maybe like about 6 yards back from the center. Yeah, probably actually closer than that, 5, 4 maybe. Then you have the running back behind shotgun. You're typically about 7, 8 yards back. It's quick hitters, right? Snaps right there. You turn, go, get upfield. And I like that a lot more than the inside zone and the shotgun.
They stay in pistol formation for this 3rd and 3. Handoff again, but Amherst ready for it. They've really tightened things up after allowing the run to really get to him. Brody Glick, the senior that time, on the stop. Their linebacker for the Comets. It's going to be 4th and 2.
This has been Amherst's calling card. The last quarter and a half or so is a 4th down stops, and they're going to have another opportunity with North Ridgeville here. 4th and, like you said, 4th and 2. Probably going to be a Cole Miller play right here again. See if they can get another stop.
Maybe an option here.
We'll see. Shotgun formation. Miller going to take it himself. Bounces outside. Has the 2 and has a touchdown.
4th and short, when in doubt. Cole Miller's there. Let him keep it.
3rd touchdown on the ground tonight for Cole Miller. continues to make it happen with his legs. And as mentioned, hard to bring down. Got speed as well.
That's his fourth today, gentlemen. Third on the ground.
Finley Keller now coming in to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So after a little bit of stagnation to end the first half, North Ridgeville's offense finds their groove. They respond. They now lead this game 28-14 over Amherst. Folks, just want to remind you that all penalties and turnovers in today's game are brought to you by Stevens Tax Service. No one wants penalties at tax time, so turn over your taxes and financial needs to Stevens Tax Service. Tom has been in business for over 15 years and will make sure that you don't fumble your finances. You can learn more at StevensTaxService.com. That's Stevens with a PH TaxService.com, or give them a call at 440-331-8989 to get help with all your tax or notarization needs.
Tax season's coming up, Brandon.
Shush.
Faster than I'm happy about.
Yeah, might have to reach out to them here shortly. Maybe not super shortly, but, turn of the year.
I don't know if he wants to deal with my taxes. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a mess.
Stop it.
I'm kidding, Steven. I'll call you. Not Steve. Tom. Tom Stevens with a PH. Another low kick, fielded at the 15. Turner making their way up the near sideline, brought down after a gain of 5. And that's where we'll start this next drive, right around the 25-yard line. That was number 22, Michael Passarello Jr. on the return. Six minutes, 54 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Amherst now down 2 scores. And offense came alive in the second quarter. Going to try to recapture some of that magic. First and 10 now from the 23-yard line. 2 receivers out far, 1 near side. Be a handoff, but immediately sniffed out by North Ridgeville. Passarello Jr. on the carry. That was number 54, Christian Ensley, in on the tackle. We have an official timeout. Looks like we do have an injured North Ridgeville Ranger, so we're going to cut away for some highlights, folks. We'll be right back.
Want some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end, number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandich, and Brock Sandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Brock Sandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people.
And welcome back in, folks. Ashton Cassetto, the injured lineman for North Ridgeville, did get up under his own power. Trying to stretch out that leg a little bit, but all seems well. 2nd and 10 now from the 26-yard line. They're going to call it no gain on the previous run. Christensen going to fake the handoff, throw it, completed. Receivers trying to find something there, but met at the point of contact. Picks up a couple yards. And again, another throw on the run, a little bit low from Christensen that time. Still able to get it to his man, and we got another official timeout, this time an injured Amherst Comet. And yeah, they're going to tend to him. We'll cut away again, folks. We'll be right back.
Want some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end, number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandich, and Brock Sandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and it's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. In Roxandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early.
And we're back, folks. Player up under his own power. 3rd and 7 for the Comets. Christensen going to throw this time. Pressure coming up the middle. Has to roll out again. Looks to throw. Now decides to tuck and run. And really no room on the sideline to pick up what he needed. And a late flag flies in. Well after the play was done. Let's see who this goes against. Given the timing, feels like a personal foul penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a late hit. I couldn't tell. Looked like Christensen was just a little off balance anyways, but the contact they're deeming was enough to constitute a late hit.
And, yep. That's a 15-yard penalty. So a big break there for Amherst.
Yeah, and they need this drive to keep going. That was crucial for this drive here. Now they need to do it on their own. Can't rely on the refs to bring them all the way down to the end zone.
So a few ticks under 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Christensen going to throw. Pressure coming again. Rolls out again. Still on his feet. Looks to throw. Far sideline. Complete. And no, wait. Yeah, he's gone. Touchdown, Amherst.
There's a flag.
There is a flag on the play. I got tripped up because that looked like it went shorter than it did. If this sticks, David Dudziak would have the touchdown.
No, it is going to be a first down, though, because it's from the spot of the foul.
We'll see what the call is. And Dudziak is working his way back towards the huddle.
That would be 56 yards, by the way, if they allow it.
Again, I've been criticizing the throwing on the run from Christensen, but that time put it right on the money, and it is going to be against Amherst.
So does that count as a... Yeah, I'm not sure.
Personal foul on Amherst.
They did signify that it is a first down, though, so.
So personal foul penalties on both teams tonight have played a factor.
Does that mean it's a 22-yard completion?
I'm not sure what we'd call that, but 1st and 10 from the 33 is where we're going to reset at least. So new set of downs.
I'd call it a 37-yard completion with a 15-yard penalty. That's what I'd call it. I don't know if that's how it officially will get marked down, but.
Christensen again flushed out of the pocket, going to tuck and run. Picks up a good chunk there, about 6 yards. Keep flushing him out to that left side. Despite that, he's been making him pay with both his legs and his arm, especially on this drive. 2nd and 4 now. Three receivers to the near side, one out far, one back in the backfield with Christensen, the quarterback. Ridgeville showing pressure, sending pressure. Again, up the gut. Christensen's not going to get away this time. Huge play there. That was number 54, Christian Ensley. 2nd time we've called his name tonight. 2nd sack of the evening for Ensley.
If North Ridgeville wins, it might be the entire defensive line. They've been good today.
Wouldn't be the first time this defensive unit has won the Mickey's Defensive Player of the Game award. Again, a huge effort against Berea Mid-Park with multiple 4th down stops. Coming up big now as well. 3rd and 15. Shotgun formation. Christensen has it. Looking to throw. Little more time. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it high off the hands of his receiver. Looking for Nick Wilkinson that time. That'll be 4th down for the Comets. As of now, offense staying out there, trailing by 14. Again, had a touchdown taken off the board because of a personal foul penalty. But we've seen it now. They always have the potential to break those big plays, and they're going to give their offense another opportunity to do it.
I don't dislike this call at all. Just keep your offense out there.
Christensen going to throw. Steps up, still has time, throws it deep, and into the hands of a North Ridgeville defensive back.
That's exactly one of the outcomes that I was going to mention. If it gets picked off, that's an arm punt. It's 4th and long.
That's actually what you wanted. And
Exactly.
Like of an incomplete pass, the pick is the back, because now they're at their own 5 instead of, the 40?
Right, and as a defensive back, it's just instinct. You see the ball in the air, you go for the ball, you attack the ball, you want the interception. But sometimes you got to think like a baseball player and think one play ahead. Okay, what am I going to do if the ball comes to me? As a defensive back, it's 4th and whatever it is. What am I going to do if the ball comes my way? Obviously, you don't want to just let it go, but spat it down maybe or something else rather than making an interception. Regardless, a great play by the defensive back.
That was Brian Strippy as he dunks in the turnover basket. Great name for a defensive player. Going to be a handoff up the gut, deep in their own territory to start this off.
And he was our Week 1 Mickey's defensive player of the
There
game.
was.
Yeah.
We've called his
the
name a
words.
couple times tonight.
Right out of my mouth, Tom. Just right there waiting for it.
He had a strip and a recovery, and it was like the perfect name for strip and recovery, really.
He's 2nd and 6 now. They're up to the 10-yard line. Couple adjustments. Miller now ready for it. Going to tuck it and keep it himself, but brought down for a loss of 1.
Kind of reminds me of Homer Bailey. It's a pitcher. Don't want to give up homers, but great baseball name.
Great baseball name. Tyler Den, by the way, in on the tackle for a loss.
You know who has a bad football name was Chris Blewett. He was a kicker for Pitt.
Yeah.
And then their quarterback was Kenny Pickett. So you had a quarterback named Pickett, and you had a kicker named Blewett, who had one of the biggest kicks of the 2016 season against Clemson on the road. But still, I mean, Blewett is not a great name.
3rd and 7.
You're welcome.
North Ridgeville, Miller going to throw right up the middle of the field, but a little bit off target there. But he's got a leg. Only had a punt a couple times tonight. That punt is up and away and bounces out of bounds right at the 50. So when all said and done, Amherst doesn't turn out too bad. And we've got a late flag, and it looks like it's going to go against Amherst. Findlay thinks he was ran into. A bit of discussion, but yeah, it's going to go against Amherst. Running into the kicker. Or a personal foul.
All right, sorry if anyone disconnected there briefly, but we're back.
Technical difficulties,
Yeah.
but we're good. You missed a punt and a penalty. Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct against Amherst. And again, seen a lot of these personal foul penalties. They cost them a touchdown earlier, cost them some great field position here. Now, to be fair, we've gotten this on the North Ridgeville side as well. These teams, they know what's at stake here. It's playoff positioning. It's Amherst fighting to make it into the playoffs. There's a lot of bad blood here. It's an SWC matchup. It's a matchup of two big-arm senior quarterbacks. And we've seen now a little bit of chippiness bleed in on both sides. 1st and 10 from the 31. Christensen facing pressure, rolls out to the near side this time and just throws it away once he's out of the pocket.
There's nothing more I hate worse than undisciplined football.
Even holding?
Huh?
Even more than holding?
Yes, actually.
Or the concept of holding.
Because the holding, like, it's fine. Like, I get it. You can't hold a defender back. Like, I don't agree with all the calls. As I was screaming at my TV during the Steeler game when it was clearly a hold, and I'm like, you can't call that there. But, like, you got to play clean football. You can't have it unsportsmanlike. You should be at the 50 right now.
2nd and 10 now. Handoff up the middle, but runs into a stone wall after a gain of 1.
That hasn't been very successful. There's been very few times for Amherst tonight where they've been able to get a running play up the middle for any kind of decent game. We saw it late in the first half. They got multiple 4 or 5 yard gains, and then the big breakout 15-yard run as well. But other than that, they haven't gotten much going in terms of the run game.
Now another shot at it. 3rd and 8. They gave him 2 yards there. Now under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Christensen has it, drops back, room up the middle, tucks it now, cutting back inside. He's got room. He's dangerous when he does. They'll get brought down just past the 50 now in a Ranger territory. First down, Amherst.
He took a shot on that play. It looks like a little slow, and
he is back up though.
Yeah, a little bit of pain. You hope he's going to be able to be fine and just shake it off.
That was Brian Strippian on the tackle for North Ridgeville. We 1st and 10 from the 47, inching closer, just a minute left now. Quarter number 3. Shotgun formation. Christensen going to throw. Has time. Right up the middle to his check down. Completed. Brought down for a very short gain there. Not quite able to shake the defense. And it does look like we have an injured player, Nick Wilkinson.
And a flag as well.
I apologize. Yeah, we're going to get there's a flag down. We got a stoppage as well. So let's go ahead and cut to highlights while we get this all sorted out, folks. We'll be right back.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning. And he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage. And Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane. Broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Rock Sandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead. They have to stay consistent. Anytime this Cleveland Heights team has their talented players, they're smart.
Welcome back in, folks. Couple things to catch you up on. Nick Wilkinson up under his own power for Amherst, but then also penalty was a personal foul against North Ridgeville. 1st and 10 now from the 31. Amherst driving. Christensen going to throw it again. This time up the middle, off the hands of the receiver, but another flag. It was Peyton Leibacher, the intended receiver. Looks like it might be pass interference against the Rangers. Based on the body language, the North Ridgeville defender kind of knows what's coming. Yes, that will go against the Rangers. And we're now at the 16-yard line, which means that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. It's a 1st and 10 from the 16. Amherst, aided by a couple of North Ridgeville penalties, continues to move. Two receivers bunched in close on the near side.
So you have a tight end on the end. You have Deuce right behind them. Let's see what they do here with that, and they go the other way.
And Christensen's going to run out to the far side, bodies his way out of bounds. A short gain there. They'll give him 5 yards.
I like that setup there where they fool them. They can, hey, we're going to go to the strong side here, and then boom. Look, they're going to do it again. Look how many defenders are there, and look how much room they have to operate on the left. I mean, essentially, you get that left tackle to seal, and you can work up to that second level. You're gone for the races.
2nd down now. Christensen gonna run, same side, gonna have the first down. Can he get to the edge? Not quite. As they brought down a couple yards short, but it'll be 1st and goal for Amherst. In unfamiliar territory, both of their touchdowns tonight came from outside of the red zone.
Yeah, so that's what they did there, right? Where you had the left tackle and you had the guard, right? It's deuce, right? Me and Brandon Marvel are going to act it out. You get to that end, right? And they work their way up to the well. They did a good job, which is the will because it's the weak side, right? Mike on the other side, Sam on the other side as well. And then you have that running back right off the butt of the tackle trying to seal and create space, and he had the space. The only problem was that he ran into the wide receiver. He was blocking well. He just ran out of room.
That kind of play reminds me kind of like setting a screen in basketball, because when you set
It's
a
what it
screen
is.
as the ball handler, you want to come so close to your guy setting the screen that you want to almost make contact with him.
1st and goal, handoff out of Wildcat formation, and that's in. Touchdown, Amherst. Michael Passarello Jr. on the touchdown run. And there is a flag, though. That was a bit of an odd formation. Jack Coleman actually took the snap.
And the coach is in midfield.
Trying to get this sorted. And no, it's going to be against North Ridgeville.
That's their second sideline warning of the night?
Correct. There's one earlier tonight. So I believe the next one would be a penalty.
Here's the thing with sideline violations. You never know when they're happening. Even when you're on the field, you have no idea.
Coleman lines up for the extra point. And they list him as an athlete, and that is about the most apt title they could give him. As that kick is up, and it is good. Handling kicking duties. Again, he was in on the Wildcat on that last formation, plays defense as well. And most importantly, he brings this to within 7 points. 19 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Amherst Steele Comets 21, the North Ridgeville Rangers 28.
If I showed you that first quarter, just the end of that first quarter, 21-0, and I told you the score would be 28-21, I don't think most people would believe us.
Again, Amherst has done a very good job settling in. It took a while for things to really get going. And, I mean, the offense, even though they put up 14 in that first half, it was still a couple of big plays that did it. They really never seemed like they got into the groove. But finally, that time, a sustained drive. Again, a couple North Ridgeville penalties helping them keep it alive. But first time scoring in the red zone tonight. He had a 7-point ball game.
And it looks like that sideline warning penalty, it was a penalty since it was their second one, and they're enforcing the penalty on the kickoff. So much more favorable spot to kick from if you're Amherst trying to get this pin deep, because they're doing a lot of low line drive kicks.
And Jack Coleman now going to kick this off from the 45-yard line. And we're ready. Kick booted deep, but going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. Going straight up the middle is the North Ridgeville returner, still on his feet. One more line to beat, still going past midfield. Continues to churn. Great return there by the Rangers.
And that's what you want from your returner there, being able to be in the midst of it and just being able to go left, go right. Where am I? You can't find me. And then, boom, now you're on the other side of the field. This is exactly what they needed here. Now, can they execute on a third or fourth down? That's the question that the Rangers need to find out here and solve.
You know, just going to mention the special teams of North Ridgeville has come up huge multiple times. A couple onside kicks. Extra points have been perfect all night long, and now you get a big return to gain some of that momentum back, get your offense starting in a good spot.
1st and 10 from the 45, and that's a low snap. Cole Miller has to dive on top of it for a big loss, but Rangers hold on to the ball, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. You're watching the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Amherst Steele 21, North Ridgeville 28. We'll be right back.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton.
Some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandage, and Brock Sandage said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this.
Start of the fourth quarter, folks. Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week, and it's a good one. North Ridgeville holding on to a 7-point lead against Amherst, but now 2nd and 18 after a low snap. Cole Miller going to run it himself. Gets back about a yard short of the original line of scrimmage. A 7-yard gain there for Miller, but it'll be 3rd down and long for the Rangers.
I like to see a quick pass here from North Ridgeville. I know I've mentioned it quite a bit here in the second half, but this is a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10-ish situation. If you could pick up 7, 8, 9 yards, you've got Cole Miller. You can take the ball, get a couple yards whenever you need to. You don't absolutely need a first down on this play.
3rd and 11, pistol formation, 3 receivers left, 1 out to the right. Back now next to Miller. He's going to block. Miller has time, rips it, keeps it still, rolling, close to the first down. He's got it. Knocked out of bounds just past the sticks.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize for that one. Cole Miller pump faked me, and I had the camera down.
I had the same thing, man. I thought he let that thing go. Fooled the defense as well. Gave himself a running lane. 1st down, North Ridgeville.
And just like prime Ben Roethlisberger is able to hit at you with the pump fake and get the camera moving with them.
Was that 4?
No, I think we're at 6.
5. Oh,
6.
I start shooting
snuck
them out
a few
after
in there.
2. 1st and 10 now from the 30-yard line. Amherst showing press now. They're going to send some pressure on the run. Back picks up a yard on the play. That was Matthew Flesher on the carry. Folks, again, this is a close game. Could still go either way, so you got time to let us know who you think either the Cement Masons offensive or the Mickey's defensive players of the game should be. Again, your votes will count. Got until about 2 minutes left in this one.
And I'm actively checking, so make sure you're tuning in.
So let us know. We get our votes in the booth as well. 2nd and 9. Pistol set now, man in motion. Miller going to look to throw right up the middle. Caught. Down. That was number 17, Cole Allison, on the reception. Short gain there, going to be 3rd and 4. Now under 10 minutes left in this game. And North Ridgeville up 7. They've struggled on 3rd and 4th down so far tonight.
No rush here from North Ridgeville. It's kind of calm, cool, and collected going up to the line. Letting that play clock dwindle down quite a bit.
And Amherst initially shows pressure, then backs off. Cole Miller going to keep it himself up the gut. He's going to be close.
And that spot's just going to be short, gentlemen.
Just short of the 1st down. Maybe half a yard.
See if I could do this again. 4th and short.
4th and short.
6'5" quarterback.
6'5" QB.
Cole Miller, give him the ball. Let him get it.
Punt it.
It's when you go under center here and QB sneak it, but we don't do that anymore in the modern game.
Pistol formation. And it looks like Amherst jumped.
We might have had somebody. It looked like somebody on the North Ridgeville line jumped. It almost looked like Cole Allison flinched.
It's going to be close.
And they're discussing it. They're going to make sure that there's no stone unturned here.
And it looks like
Encroachment.
Encroachment. Amherst can't believe it.
That was weird. That was a weird reaction from Cole Allison. He was on the left side of that line for North Ridgeville, and it looked like he twitched, but it must have just been as the Amherst defensive lineman was crossing that neutral zone. But he stood up and kind of looked disappointed with the body language.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Now, remember, if the defense is in the neutral zone in any way, shape, or form, and the offense moves, that's on the defense.
Yeah, yep.
Next trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. 1st and 10 from the 16. Going to be a keeper off the fake for Cole Miller. Touchdown, but there is a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, and the Amherst defender is just letting him know it.
They're in the area of Gavin Knepp, the offensive lineman. And sure enough, holding penalty, 10 yards. And penalties continue to play a big part in this game for both teams. Extending drives. Now, in this case, going to push the Rangers out of the red zone. It'll be 1st and 20. 8 minutes, 35 seconds left. Clock continues to run. North Ridgeville with the lead and the ball. Man in motion is DeShazo. It's going to be a handoff to him. Crouches down, spins inside, really nowhere to go. Did what he could. And that was Patrick Fellenstein in on the tackle for the Comets. I say no gain there. Second and 28. Oh my goodness. 2nd and 17 from the 23. So 3-yard gain. Numbers are hard.
Difficult, even.
Don't ask me to do math.
Oh, we won't.
That's why I give Dom plenty of time after the touchdown to figure it out, because I know I'm not going to do any better.
I was told to count by 4s earlier, and I started counting by 3s. It's all right.
2nd down now, a handoff right up the middle, back near the original line, about a yard short of the original line of scrimmage. Michael Passarello Jr. in on the tackle.
That's
Again,
a good name
running
as
back.
well.
It is. Beginning a lot of the running back touches for Amherst tonight.
It sounds like he would play for Notre Dame in the 40s. I don't know why.
No, it's.
Yeah.
I feel it. I get it. Passarello Sr. played for Notre Dame. Junior plays for North Ridgeville.
For New Rockney.
3rd and 12 for the Rangers. Miller going to throw, pressure coming, gets it out. That's picked, and there's no one in front of him. Unless Cole Miller can catch up. Cuts inside, still up on his feet. Still going, sheds another tackle, and finally dragged down by the foot. Tyler Den, the linebacker. An interception last week, an interception this week. And it's a massive one for the Comets.
About 70 yards, I believe. I think he caught that around the 15.
My goodness, a rare miscue from Cole Miller.
What number was that again, gentlemen?
On the interception, 33. Yes. Tyler Den.
That's game-changing right there, gentlemen. Now, if you're the offense, there's pressure on you that you have to capitalize now.
And folks, we do have an injured player on the field, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandich, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Brock Sandich, and Brock Sandich said, nope, give me that. I'm holding on to this. And reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here. Cool. This is a huge crowd here for Brunswick here tonight. And Brock Sandich gave them something to cheer for. Going in, a lot of people doubted Brunswick. It's an early lead.
We're back after the injury timeout. Noah Cassetto, the player for North Ridgeville, up under his own power. But the big interception in return sets up 1st and 10 from the 14. This trip to the red zone brought to you by the Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Down 7 and a pre-snap penalty, likely against Amherst. False start.
It is.
It'll still be first down, but they're going to move them back 5 yards.
I mean, honestly, with the way this offense has moved with just the big plays, I mean, honestly, I don't think this hurts you too much. This could help you a little bit, open up the playbook a little bit more, some deeper plays.
1st and 15 from the 19. Cy Christensen trying to lead his team back.
And it's the same formation. Look how much room they have to the right.
And they're going to throw it to the right side, and that's broken up.
Threw out a rhythm there. Wasn't able to get set and predict where he was going to be. If he led him more in the end zone, there was no safety help. That's a touchdown all day, but he threw that so far behind them.
Yeah, the defensive back definitely had some inside leverage there. He was playing the inside of the ball, and he threw it inside as well. So he was nearly picked off there, and it was luckily low enough so where the defensive back couldn't make a play on it.
2nd and 15. Still 6 minutes, 38 seconds to go. Neither team has burned a timeout.
And that's going to come into play later. 6:30 to play here, Brandon. We'll get down to crunch time.
Now we see a lot of designed runs out of this formation, but Christensen going to go fake it to that side. Still on the run. Decides to throw it out of bounds.
Look out, chain gang.
He had him initially, hit him with the pump fake, flipped the hips, turned outside to the back pylon. He had him between both pylons there, but decided to not hit him on the throw there. I wonder if they're going to try for it again. They have to score. I wouldn't aim for that first down marker. I would look for half of what you got now and set up for 3rd down because you're going to have to go for it here. And they're going to have, no, I thought they're going to have Wildcat there for a second. That's not true. Different formation. They're going to need to pick up at least half here because they're going to have to go for it on 4th down.
3rd and 15. The press box is shaking. The home crowd coming alive. Christensen throws it up the middle. Jump ball. He's got it. Touchdown, Amherst. David Dudziak.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that was intercepted. David Dudziak leapt up and just kind of plucked it out of the air. It wasn't much of a catch where it comes to you. He just kind of went to the ball in the air, just plucked it out and came down with it and said, nobody's in front of me. Guess I'm going to run to the end zone now.
Now a big extra point to tie this game for the first time today. Snap out, ball down, kick is up, it is good, and we are tied here in North Ridgeville. Amherst 28, North Ridgeville 28.
Something about big comebacks here in North Ridgeville the past few weeks that kind of get you thinking, like, what's in the air here in North Ridgeville? I mean, a couple weeks ago, North Ridgeville came back themselves against Brewer Mid-Park at a big 21-6 deficit. Now this week, Amherst with the first half 21-0 deficit, climbing all the way back to put it at 28-all in the 4th quarter with just under 6.5 to play. And their defense has been making plays all night long since that 2nd quarter. 4th down stops, sacks, turnovers. And now they're here set up, and they've got all the momentum.
Now Amherst getting ready to kick off. Tied game momentum on the side of the Comets. Six minutes, 24 seconds left. Kick right up the middle. Fielded just past the 30. Has to go down shortly after, so that's where the Ranger offense will get things started. Offense has not looked quite the same since that 1st quarter. They have put up 7 in this half. But Amherst has stolen the momentum away. North Ridgeville can do a lot here. They're getting a sustained drive, putting up 7 again. We know they're capable. Another electric game here on the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week.
Just to think, it was 21-0. I was thinking about, oh my goodness, this game's going to be running clock. It's going to be quick.
Here we are, 28 all.
Handoff for North Ridgeville. Bax just got to dive his way forward. Maybe picks up a yard.
And what's crazy is it felt like North Ridgeville has had total control of this game until it got tied. I still don't even believe it because Amherst had the fight, scratch, and crawl for every single yard they've gotten. I mean, if you just look at the stat sheet I have, it's completely different. I mean, you have one team that's getting 12, 15, 30 yards a play, and the other's getting 7, 2, -4, -1, 4 yards. And it's a tie ball game. It's unbelievable.
2nd and 9, man in motion. And blown dead.
A lot of guys moving in the backfield of North Ridgeville, Brandon.
That's going to hurt. Ridgeville gets pushed back further.
Another aspect that I was going to mention right before that is that the penalties here late in the second half, a lot have gone against North Ridgeville. First half, a lot were going against Amherst. They were playing undisciplined. They were making iffy plays after the play was over and unsportsmanlike conduct, things of that nature. Now it's North Ridgeville that's finding that kind of undisciplined action.
2nd and 14, Cole Miller rolling out, looking to throw it, has a receiver on the sideline, catches it, toe taps, and that's complete. That was number 8, Duke Baker on the reception. It'll be 3rd and 4. Now, about 5 minutes left. 5:18 to be exact. Clock is stopped as Baker went out of bounds.
This is sorry, Brandon. This is a crucial play here. You got to pick up 4. You're going to have to punt it unless you're at 1 yard away.
3rd down, Amherst showing pressure. They're going to send pressure up the middle. Miller's going to run to the outside. He's got the 1st down. He's to the 50 and pushed out of bounds, but a late flag. Well, Miller had more than enough for the 1st.
Based on the reaction at the spot of the foul, it looks like flag's thrown on the positive 47. And it looks like if that is a holding against North Ridgeville, it should still be enough for a 1st down regardless.
Let's see what the call is here. Folks, while they sort this out, I want to remind you, this game's obviously exciting. What else is exciting, though, if you missed the announcement, Keon Sports will be live streaming playoff football this year as well. Hoping to see both of these teams come back for some playoff action. We'll announce our matchups early each week, let you know where the broadcast team is heading. But again, so they are going to call holding. It's 3rd and 1. So essentially a redo, plus a couple yards. Folks, make sure you stick around after this one for the Cement Mason Local 404 Union postgame show with myself. Brandon Marvel will let you know our winners of the Mickeys and Cement Masons players of the game. Handoff right up the middle. He doesn't have enough.
I thought they were just going to run it back with Cole Miller again, but they didn't. They decided to hand it off, and Amherst comes up with a big 3rd down stop.
Yep, he is short. It's going to be 4th down. Big decision here for the Rangers.
If I'm North Ridgeville, I go for it. I go for it. Cole Miller's there. You saw what he just did last play on 3rd and 4 before that penalty. Keep it in Cole Miller's hands. Let him truck forward for a yard.
Offense still in. Now they are taking their time.
Oh,
And no,
boy.
it's a fake. They faked the play coming in. Direct snap to the running back, and that's enough for the 1st.
That was some trickery right there. But props to Amherst. That could have been a way bigger play than it was. North Ridgeville picks up the 1st down, but it was only a 2 to 3 yard gain. Everybody looking over to the side.
So I was wondering, I'm like, that's a real aggressive clap for him to just look at this. And then the ball was, I'm like, that is weird kind of how they set that up. And there was a reason for that.
1st and 10 from the 46. Getting close to Comet territory. Cole Miller rolling out. He's tucking it, trying to find some room to work, but grabbed by the legs. And he'll lose a yard. Tyler Den again in on the play.
Den's been all over the field in this second half, making big plays on all facets. Facets.
There
That's
you
a
go.
hard word to say.
You got a big dog.
Yep.
Words are hard, numbers are hard. We just call high school football.
Life is
2nd and
hard.
11. Life is hard. You know it's not hard, enjoying this game.
No, it's been a doozy.
Pistol formation, Miller gonna throw, pressure coming. Has to roll away again, throws it up the far sideline, complete! And that's a touchdown for the Rangers!
What a play by Cole Miller.
What looked to be a broken play ends in a touchdown bomb to Mason Allison. And North Ridgeville reclaims the lead.
The pressure was there for the second play in a row. Amherst defense has been doing so much better, like we've talked about over and over in this second half of getting pressure on Cole Miller. Forced an interception earlier. They get pressure again, but Miller has just enough time to roll out and find a wide open receiver downfield and hit him right in stride and walk in for a touchdown.
Finley Keller on the extra point, and it is good. We're not done here, folks. 3 minutes, 23 seconds to go in our game of the week. North Ridgeville 35, Amherst 28. Amherst getting the ball back. Their offense has come alive in the second half. Can they do it again?
I mean, maybe North Ridgeville just likes to keep their fans involved a little bit, you know? We don't want to blow a game.
Yeah.
We just want to keep you engaged a little bit more. Make things exciting.
Engaged they are. This crowd electric as always on senior night here for North Ridgeville. And what a senior class it is.
Probably the best they've ever had.
Again, Cole Miller we've mentioned. Fortunately is hurt, but Zachary Barnhart, Brian Strippy. A lot of great players.
Yeah, Eric
on their ways
Langauer
out.
as well.
Dylan DeShazo. Again, a great class and a great team. Only one loss on the season so far to Avon. They look to keep that record up. So they currently hold a 1-touchdown lead over Amherst. Amherst trying to position themselves to make a run at the playoffs. They are 4-4. A low bouncing kick, but fielded at the 25. Working his way to the sideline. Eventually out of bounds just past the 40, so good starting field position for Amherst. They'll have 3 minutes and 16 seconds to work with. Still 3 timeouts.
And I wouldn't play the clock game with this team here, right, with Amherst. If I'm Amherst right now, I'm going now,
Yes.
right? My tempo's quick, right? Not super quick where, you know, we're going NASCAR and we're just going lasso, and we're going quick. I want a fast tempo where we're getting to the line. Look at the sideline. All right, let's get moving. Let's go. Not too much changing formations and being quick with it.
Be 1st and 10 from the 43. Christensen going to throw. Quick little pass up the middle, completed. That's going to be a first down. Now to the 40, stumbles out of bounds. Just past the 40 there. That was number 2 on the reception, David Duziak.
And he's been their main man today, as he always is. He's had a phenomenal senior campaign.
Now into North Ridgeville territory. Big gain on the first down. 3:08 now on the clock. 2 receivers on each side for Christensen. He'll throw again. Now rolling out, facing some pressure. Now deep back, has to just throw this one away. The general direction of Dudziak. A good job by the front 4 of North Ridgeville, really giving him no room to operate.
No, you got to pressure him, have him move out of the pocket. At times he underthrows it when he's not able to set his feet and he's on his back foot. If you give him time, he's proven that he can be deadly and he can find Duziak in any spot in the field, and this offense will be deadly in that moment. But you got to get him moving out of the pocket and got to have that line covered so he can't run.
2nd and 10 now. Defensive backs playing back. Man now goes in motion. They're showing zone. Rolls out to the right side, complete. That'll be a pickup of about 6.
That's good. Using the boundary to your favor. Get out of bounds. I like these plays. I mean, I wish they were doing this earlier. Maybe they would have the lead if that was the case. But right now their offense is moving smoothly. They have to pick up this huge 3rd down. They'll have a 4th down to work with too.
3rd and 4. Going to wait for the play to come in now. So 15 seconds on the play clock. North Ridgeville trying to make a stand and hold on to this lead. Play clock down to 5. They get it off. Christensen to throw. Dropping, throws it, and nearly intercepted. Threw it short of his intended receiver, just out of the hands of Nolan Gill, the linebacker for North Ridgeville. 4th down for the Comets, and a crucial one at that.
And Gill's another player that's kind of made a lot of plays tonight. He's been quietly making a lot of plays.
Okay, so if they don't get this here, the game's not over. They still have 3 timeouts and plenty of time. They could get the ball back if they don't get it here with around 2:30 left. So the game will not be over if they don't get the first down. And they just took the one that they needed there. Okay, never mind. That's out of the book. Can't happen there.
Interesting call. Yes, Amherst uses their first timeout. So they want to talk this over. I mean, maybe they convert here. It doesn't matter.
Listen,
we'll see.
I mean, they must have gone out there and been like, we really don't like this defensive look. So if that's the case, then yeah, don't run out and run a play that's going to fail. But boy, do you want that timeout. And you still can get the ball back with an okay amount of time, but you're going to have that clock burden for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, in high school football, there's no 2-minute warning, so you don't get that free timeout here in about 49 seconds.
2-minute timeout in college.
Sorry. Anyways.
Here's the fun part, Dom. This is neither of those things. All right, 4th and 4. They're on the 32-yard line. Shotgun formation.
Biggest play of the day right here, gentlemen.
North Ridgeville showing pressure. They're sending it. Christensen steps up. He's going to be close met at the line to gain, and he's not going to get it.
That's a close spot, but it does look like he's short.
If it holds, and it looks like it will, North Ridgeville with the massive stop. Couple guys in there, but Carter Clark, the lead tackler there, stopping Cy Christensen in his tracks. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Biggest play of the day, Carter Clark. What number are we looking at
2
here? 2. I think that is the biggest play we saw all day coming from Carter Clark, the DB. He might end up being the defensive player of the game because of that tackle.
He's had a good day as a returner as well. I believe he also deflected a pass early on.
No, still 2 timeouts.
No 2-minute warning or 2-minute timeout, but you have until 2 minutes to get your votes in for the Mickey's Defensive Player of the Game and your Cement Mason Local 404 Offensive Player of the Game as well.
Thank you, Marvel. Cole Miller right up the gut for a gain of about 6 there. 2 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. It's all a numbers game. Amherst opting not to take a timeout yet. They do still have 2 left.
He's had 5 touchdowns on the day, Cole Miller.
My goodness.
Not too shabby.
He should be in consideration for the Cement Masons Player of the Game if North Ridgeville were to come out on top. They still got some work to do. 2nd and 3. We're now at 2 minutes. Man in motion. And Miller's going to fake the handoff and keep it himself. He's got the first down and a little bit of room. Now cutting outside, has to get his own blocker out of the way. But brought down just past the 40. Great run there by Cole Miller, doing what he can to ice this one.
Looked like he pulled up a little bit by himself at the end of that run. Smart play by Cole Miller. Still give yourself enough space to get another first down. While Amherst now calls their second timeout of the game here. Just a smart play, really. You just got to keep the ball as long as you can.
And that's huge. So even if Amherst can somehow come up with a stop, they're going to have almost no time to work with. What a game, folks. If you've been watching, you picked a good one. And North Ridgeville on our broadcast for the 3rd time this year. They won their previous 2, one against North Olmsted, one against an instant classic in Berea Mid-Park. And we got another great game tonight against a feisty Amherst team.
Now, unless something crazy happens, gentlemen, I'm going to work my way to the field. If we somehow have overtime, which I don't think will happen, I'll work my way back up here.
All right, thank you so much, Dom. Thank you for anyone that voted for our Mickey's and Cement Masons players of the game. Stick around for that Cement Masons post-game show, rather, with myself and Brandon Marvel. I'll give you a quick little recap, let you know who those award winners are, let you know where we're heading next week for the final week of the regular season, and then, of course, playoffs upcoming. Excited for that. Halloween night will be week 1. 1st and 10 now from the 37, a minute 46 to go. 1 timeout left for Amherst. It'll be a handoff for Flesher, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, North Ridgeville. And that's going to do it, folks. Matthew Flesher putting the exclamation point on it. The Rangers going to come out with a hard-fought victory. Still a minute 39 to go, but up 2 scores against Amherst.
First touchdown of the game. Cole Miller won't be responsible for it, but great job by that North Ridgeville offensive line. Almost kind of looked like the Red Seas parted right at the front of the line. He hit that hole, and he was just shot out of a cannon after that, and he was gone into the end zone. Puts this game on ice. Just over a minute and a half left to go in this game. Rangers now with a 2-score lead.
We got a flag down before the play has even started. And it's going to go against North Ridgeville. Not entirely sure what the call was there, but they're still going to attempt the kick. Pushes him back 5 yards. We'll try again. Finley Keller on the attempt. That Finley Keller perfect on the night so far. And a minute 39 to go. North Ridgeville pulling ahead 42-28 over the Amherst Steele Comets.
The special teams is such an underrated part of the game of football in general. If you don't have executed kickoffs, executed onside kicks in North Ridgeville's sense, the way they are able to execute and perform week in and week out and really just continue to put this game, like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, if they don't have good special teams, they're probably not as good as they are. The way that these onside kicks can swing momentum, whether they score on the recovery or not, it gets in the head of the other team, and you always got them on their toes no matter what. So when you have a good special teams, it really brings the whole thing together for the football team.
And to your credit, I mean, this is a 2-possession game at the end of it, and they stole back 2 possessions on onside kicks tonight. Again, second time we've seen them do that this year. Could be a massive advantage come playoff time. North Ridgeville well positioned for. Only next week's result shouldn't matter too much as far as getting into the playoffs. That's fielded at the 35-yard line. Turner trying to find some space, moving to the outside. Really nowhere to go. Jack Coleman, the return man.
They got a flag in on the play as well.
Some more laundry. A lot of penalties tonight for both sides. And a whole variety of things. Holdings, personal fouls. We've had the whole gamut. Sideline warnings.
Gotta love the old sideline warnings.
All right, looks like we're going to get started. Well, they're still marching them down, so it went against North Ridgeville.
Looked like, by the looks of it, the North Ridgeville sideline knew it. They were motioning towards a face mask. So look, probably on the tackle there got a little too much.
1st and 10 from the 42. Amherst is not going to go quietly. Christensen going to throw to the sideline, complete and out of bounds. That was to number 29, Cale Charles, his first reception of the night. So clock stops, minute 27. 2nd and 10. Amherst does still have 1 timeout remaining. Opportunity to score quickly here. Attempt an onside kick. If they want a shot at this one. Christensen now going to roll to the far side. Pressure coming. Ball is out, complete, and again, out of bounds. There's Peyton Liebacker that time on the reception. So now going to be 3rd and 2 from the 34, minute 22, or minute 21 rather, left. Amherst doing a good job controlling the clock here. They'll need a few more to convert on downs. Clock will stop as well when the chains move. Christensen steps back, throws, sideline again, caught around the 30, fighting to get out of bounds, but can't, but that's all right. That's a first down. Charles again on the reception. The junior wide receiver.
Amherst trying to let everybody know, hey, this game isn't quite over yet. Moving this ball quickly down the field with little plays.
Clock starts to run in a minute 10. Christensen rolling out, looking for someone. Flag comes in. He's going to tuck it and run it himself. We'll be close to the first down if this sticks, but that was in the backfield. So got to imagine that's going to go against against Amherst rather. We'll see. And yep, sure enough, that'll go against the Comets. 10 yards will march them back. But still first down. Now a minute and 1 second left in this one. First and 20 from the 40-yard line. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left, 1 out to the right. Christensen going to throw deep up the far sideline and well defended. Receiver really never had a shot at that one.
And North Ridgeville's defense has been making the important plays on defense. They haven't let Amherst take the lead. Now they let them come back into the game and they let them tie the game. But after that, once they got their next score, we had that big play on the last drive from the defensive back, Carter Clark, on that big 4th down.
2nd and 20, lots of time. Now starting to face pressure, but running the wrong way is Christensen. Still rolls out. Pressure coming from both sides. Wisely decides to throw that away. About the only thing he could do at that point. Now going to be 3rd and 20, 45 seconds left. I want to mention that pass breakup play before. Brian Strippy, another player, has gotten plenty of run tonight for North Ridgeville. Band starting to make their way out. North Ridgeville can feel it. They are close to another SWC victory, and a flag as that play was getting started. And false start. So they're going to march this back even further. Christensen now standing on the 50. 3rd and 25 from the 45. Three receivers to the near side, 1 far. Cy Christensen has a pocket. Has to roll out a little bit, waiting for something to develop downfield. Slings it towards the sideline, but short of his intended receiver. 4th down now. 35 seconds left in this one.
4th and 25 with 35 seconds left on the 45.
Lots of 5s there, Marv.
A lot of 5s.
One more opportunity for Amherst. 4th and 25. Christensen gonna throw it deep, uncorks it, and in and out of the hands of a North Ridgeville defensive back, Brian Strippy. And it's all but a formality now. North Ridgeville took a 21-0 lead. Let Amherst back, tied it up 28-28. And then took control right back. And a well-fought victory for a battle-tested Rangers team as they head towards the Division II playoffs in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and this is a team in North Ridgeville and Coach Brian Morgan. Like, of course you're going to be happy that you're going to come out with the win, but you're going to look at this tape, you're going to look at the field, you're going to look at the final score, and you're going to say, why was it this close? We shouldn't have had it this close of a game. We shouldn't have let them come back in this game. What could we do to get better next week and heading into the playoffs?
And that will officially do it for us, folks. An incredible game here. The Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week for Week 9 sees the North Ridgeville Rangers take down the Amherst Steele Comets 42-28. We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, the Cement Mason Local 404 Union halftime or post-game show with myself and Brandon Marvel will let you know who the Cement Masons and Mickey's players of the games are. We'll let you know where these two teams are heading next week, along with our own broadcast. We'll be right back.
This week's Keon Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake.
For my favorite pizza of sausage and pepperoni, or Brandon's favorite of olive and pineapple, let Angela's make the perfect pie for you. Visit them in person at 27095 Bagley Road, Olmsted Falls, or place your order online at angelinaspizza.com.
Earth Flora. EarthFlora.com is the leader in the trade of botanical artificial plants and trees custom made with your vision in mind. Call them today at 440-899-4947 or visit them at www.earthflora.com. Make sure you enter code SAVE5 to save an extra 5% and get free shipping on orders of $100 or more within the inland United States.
The Moose is on the loose at Mickey's. Your local Mickey's is open now for the food and fuel you need to keep your family on moving. Be sure to use your Mickey Mart Rewards card to quickly rack up amazing member-only deals, including free food and beverages. Mickey's is a proud supporter of our local school systems through our Fuel Schools program and excited to team up with Keon Sports to bring you all the finest moments in local sports, information, and entertainment. Visit www.mickeythemoose.com. That's mickeythemoose.com to find your location near you.
Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a member of the auto community for the last 20 years and will treat you right no matter your car buying need. He's an expert at new and used car deals, including trade-ins and financing. Save Staffing of Ohio. They offer temporary, temp to hire, and direct hire placements for job candidates and businesses across Ohio. Whether your company needs talented people or you're looking for employment in your field, their goal is to help you succeed. Their motto is helping people work, helping companies grow.
Vote Carbone for Strongsville this election season. You can email Jim Carbone at carboneforstrongsville@yahoo.com for information on how you can help. With Carbone, your vision is his mission.
Run some type of rule out here if they're going to pass it, but there is an overhang on the right. They need to be careful.
Brock Sandage, the keeper, up the middle, keeps the legs churning, and he fought for that football. It was nearly ripped out of his hands by the edge rusher there. That was defensive end number 53, Rodney Harris, who nearly ripped that out of the arms of Rock Sandage, and Rock Sandage said, nope, give me that, I'm holding on to this, and reaches that arm towards the plane, broke it, and that's a touchdown and now a lead for the Blue Devils.
Woo, I got chills here, Cole. This is a huge...
And welcome on in to the Cement Mason Local 404 Union post-game show. I'm Brandon Soder. With me is Brandon Marvel. Folks, you just enjoyed another great Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. The North Ridgeville Rangers took down the Amherst Steele Comets 42-28. And folks, this game was much closer than that score indicates. It was North Ridgeville getting out to an early 21-0 lead. And it looked like the Amherst offense was really just never going to be able to get going. Then it was two explosive plays from quarterback Cy Christensen, one with his legs, one with a deep pass to get them back in it. It was 21-14 going into the half. Eventually ended up knotted up at 28 after a Cole Miller interception and about a 70-yard return that set up that touchdown for Amherst. But after that, North Ridgeville, as we've seen, just knows how to settle down. No moment too big for them. Able to drive back down the field and put up 7, put the pressure back on Amherst, and Amherst just not able to quite put it all together. And a late touchdown by North Ridgeville while trying to salt out the clock put us at a 42-28 final score. North Ridgeville improves to 8-1 on the year. Amherst Steele 4-5 next week for both of these teams. Amherst, they are going to go home and play Midview. North Ridgeville's got a tough one to end SWC play. They'll have to travel to Olmsted Falls. Brandon Marvel, let's go ahead and bring you in. We'd like to talk about just one thing each of these teams can bring going into next week, especially this late in the season. Start with the visiting Amherst Steele Comets. An incredible effort tonight. Ended up coming up short. What can you take away from this if you're an Amherst Steele Comet?
Yeah, for Amherst, I mean, you start this game off in a really deep hole. You dug yourself a really deep hole to start this game off, and you still found a way to come back and make this game competitive at the very end, all the way up to the point of tying it at 28 in the fourth quarter. Like, you got to look at yourself if you're Amherst. Yes, you lost this game, but if you don't dig yourself that big of a hole, this is your game to control and your game to win and not lose. Okay, so this is with Amherst. You got to take away from that. We're in every game. It's going to make it harder to make the playoffs or at least have a good position in the playoffs dropping this game tonight. But going home, play Midview next week, they know they're going to be in every single game they play. And the way their offense was able to operate in that comeback, methodically, slowly. Yes, we had the two big plays from Cy Christensen that you noted. But overall, it was a 6-yard play, a 7-yard play, a 4-yard play. You might have lost a couple yards on a run or picked up a 5-yard penalty. Then you come back and get that penalty yardage back on the very next play and then some. It's those drives that you're able to pick pieces apart and just, here's a couple more yards, here's first down on 3 plays. You're able to really get your offense in a groove rather than just I'm going to score on one play because, yes, it's exciting and, yes, it brings momentum towards your way, but it doesn't quite get everybody in the groove when it's just a one play, one drive kind of thing.
And now let's flip it over to the Rangers. Again, 8-1 now. Only one loss, and that coming in conference play to defending state champions Avon. You know, if you are the Rangers, what are you taking into next week as they wrap up against Olmsted Falls, another tough SWC opponent?
If you're North Ridgeville, you just have to know this offense could be one of the top offenses in all of Northeast Ohio. You have a dynamic run game with Cole Miller and a couple players by committee that can do a lot of things with the ball in their hands and make big plays happen. You have Cole Miller also, who has a huge arm, who is responsible for all but one of the touchdowns tonight in tonight's game. So you just have to rely on that offense and have confidence in your offense that, hey, no matter what part of the game we're at, if we need a big play, our offense could give us that big play. They could pick up that fourth down. They can make that big chunk play that we need. We could pick up that extra penalty yardage that we just cost ourselves. But going to penalties, that's something you have to take into next week. And then going into the playoffs, these 5, 10, 15-yard penalties, especially the after the play unsportsmanlike conducts, the face masks, the little pre-snap penalties, those have to be ironed out. Those have to be fixed. Because that way when you get to the playoffs, you're not making those mistakes against the really great teams like the Avons of the world. So that way those teams don't make or they can't take any kind of advantage away from you.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. And almost time for the moment you've all been waiting for, announcing our award winners tonight. One last little piece of housekeeping. We, as a broadcast, the last game of the year, it's going to be Strongsville at Brunswick, two other teams that have had great seasons, as Dom Clary has joined us just in time for our player announcements.
Some news.
Oh.
Did you guys announce the players of the game yet?
Not yet. We're getting ready to.
So, quick note. I'm out of breath. Quick note. That is this group, the senior group, is the most successful 4-year group in the history of the school.
Wow. And there's still a game to go.
Still a game to go. No matter what happens to the play, and I'm going to say this because they should be very proud of themselves. These families should be proud. Being a group that is a trailblazer in your community of, hey, this is the standard of our town's football, whether it's Amherst or North Ridgeville or Avon, it all starts somewhere. And the fact this group can be like, hey, this starts here. We had a 7th grade team that went undefeated up here today, and it starts here. We have a booster that sponsors. They're invested in these kids, and these kids have lived up to it.
is a good time to be part of this program, and it's really cool to announce them because they gave us 3 phenomenal games. 2 for me because I had to go to a Romanian wedding. But 3 phenomenal games. This entire community should be very proud and should continue rallying around this team because I remember a few years ago they were talking about how proud they were just winning a playoff game.
Absolutely.
In a 16-team format in the region. They should be very proud of this community.
Absolutely. And this is now my 7th year calling high school football. And when I first started this, really both of these teams, North Ridgeville and Amherst, were happy to be having these 2, 3, 4-win seasons. So to see how far they have come, Amherst really started their turnaround last year. By having a great year in SWC play. North Ridgeville's been a couple years now, specifically with this core senior group led by Cole Miller. It's been amazing to see. And like you said, the pipeline, especially for North Ridgeville, seems to be there. A lot to be excited about if you are a Ranger fan. But enough of that. We got some hardware to give away. And Brandon, you made mention that there was a player responsible for every North Ridgeville touchdown tonight, aside from one. So I got to imagine pretty good candidate here for the Cement Mason Local 404 Offensive Player of the Game. Who was that tonight?
Yeah, Cement Mason Local 404 Offensive Player of the Game for the second North Ridgeville game in a row is the quarterback, Cole Miller. It's a guy that could just make a play for you whenever he needs to. Call his number on a 4th and short. The first 4th and short, he picked up a 22-yard touchdown run. The next one just gave him 5 yards, just enough so that they needed the first down. He's got an arm that you saw the 42-yard catch and run from him to DeShazo for the first touchdown of the game. This is somebody that can make plays whenever you need him to, and that is why he's your offensive player of the game.
And I talked to him down there, he's only getting recruited as a tight end currently.
Which is insane.
YSU, Toledo, and Kent. I told him, if schools aren't recruiting you, they should be. Because that's an athlete right there. Whether it's a tight end or quarterback, that kid needs to be somewhere. And also, really nice kid. Right? And his family seemed really happy, us talking to him. That kid needs to play somewhere if he wants to play football. And it needs to be at a D1 school. Whether it's FCS or FBS, it has to be somewhere. Sorry, proceed, guys.
That's okay. And let's talk about one more guy tonight, though, that is also deserving of praise on this North Ridgeville Ranger defense. We could easily given it to everyone again, but there was one player that stood out, the Mickey's Defensive Player of the Game, Marvel.
You mentioned that there was one player that made one play that really stuck out in this game, and it was that 4th down stop with the game in balance still, and that is Carter Clark, the defensive back of North Ridgeville, who made that big 4th down stop while Cy Christensen was trying to pick up the 4th and short to extend the game. And he made the stop, got the ball back for North Ridgeville, and North Ridgeville was able to put the game away from there.
And there was a couple times, again, he had pass breakups tonight. He was the primary return man for North Ridgeville, so his fingerprints all over this game. Congratulations to Carter Clark and Cole Miller, both recipients of our awards tonight. Again, folks, it's been a lot of fun. Guys, this has been incredible. We're hoping for one more great game next week. I got a feeling we're going to get it. Strongsville at Brunswick. Brunswick with one of the best teams we've seen them have in a while. We talk about teams that when we started doing this, we're kind of trying to turn things around and get back up. Brunswick has been incredible this year. Strongsville has been incredible this year. So cannot wait for that one. And then, of course, playoff action after that. But all of that said, folks, for Brandon Marvel, for Dom Clary, I'm Brandon Soder.